Yes, we are live.
Let me check my YouTube real quick to just make sure, since I've never actually went live myself. Oh, I see us.
Ah, great. Wow.
We figured it out.
Great. Yay.
So we should be able to get the messages on screen. So give everybody a chance to come in. Hi, guys. I'm going to take the link real quick and just copy it, and I'm going to put it in my business, and I'm going to also put it on Twitter real fast.
Okay, take your time.
So just give me one quick second. And then I have to see if somebody doesn't mind just typing so that I can know. There you go. Hi, Manuel. Thank you for joining.
Hello, welcome.
I'm so excited. So I know like Levi, I know everybody's going to come in here.
Oh, Derek is here. Hi, Derek.
There he is. So let me go ahead and, all right. So, hi. So it just says block or put user on timeout. Maybe I have to do it on actual YouTube. Give me 1 second. I just need to make Derek mod. So.
Okay.
That way when any clowns come in, he could just. Oh. There we go. So you should have it. Hi, Sunny. That's Sunny from the UK.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Sunny. Welcome.
I'm so excited. So you should be able to have. Do you have it, Derek? Just want to make sure. Kim is here. So Kim is she's in my business. She is all about purity and light, and she's freaking amazing. So she's here too.
Wow.
She's saying
Hi,
hi.
Kim.
Hi, Kim.
So lovely to have you.
This is Genie. I call him Genie because I say that he makes all my wishes come true. So to kind of give you guys a little backstory, I met him online about a year ago when, I won't say the name of the business, but I guess like I was kind of like looking for psychic advice, but he is not that. He is psychic, but he's not. He's so much more. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, but I got a mentor, a teacher, an ass whooping when I needed one. And everybody that's in my Discord knows where I get it from. It is him. Yeah, so he's just everything. He's everything. He knows all about manifestation. He can literally translate the Bible in a way to make you understand things you never thought you could understand before. Any religion, how the universe works, it's crazy. So at the end of the stream, I'll input his information. And if anybody does want to contact him for any type of guidance or a personal reading or anything like that, he does it all. So let me start with first. I guess all the times I've talked to you, you know, and everybody should know this, we've never been on camera together. I used to sit and watch him talk and I would just type. So we've never actually been on screen together. So it's pretty freaking amazing for me to have this right now. I want to know, like, where did your gifts begin in your life? Like, what age were you? When did you like feel different than everybody else? When did you realize you had some type of gifts?
Yeah. Actually, since my young age, you know, like since the age of 8, 9, even 10, 12, I used to think that the world is not what we are told it is. You know, even at that age, I thought, okay, I studied in a Christian school, an Anglican school, so we were taught the Bible a lot. You know, then although I'm from a Catholic family, I went to an Anglican school, so we were taught the Bible a lot. So I always thought this is not what it really means. You know, what we are taught. You read the Bible and then it is taught to us. This is what it means. But I always thought, no, this is not what it means. There is something else. but I could not understand at that time what it was. So when I had that realization, or when I suspected that there was something more to it, that curiosity, that happened to me when I was very young, when I was about 10 years, 12 years old. Then also, I noticed even at that time, which I did not know at that time, but when I look back, there were things that I should just say, and and it happens, in life. Little things, I said, don't do that, this will happen, or something like this is going to happen. Little things, and then later I would realize, okay, it came to be, Um, so from a young age, even now my mom used to say even now my mom says, yeah, you said a thing like that and it came true, but then the rat race of the world, I mean, then you go to school and it all sport. Then you get into the rat race, the commercial world, you start doing your jobs, then you have no time for all these things,
Yeah.
but then uh, in the meantime also these things were going on in my life. But then it came to a stage, I told myself, okay, look here, this is not where the meaning of life is. Uh, while you are living in this world as a normal person, um, there is something else that you can pursue. You can understand, you can inquire, you can investigate what is the true phenomena of life. How did it all start? How does it operate? How does it run? How do things happen and why do things happen? So I was pursuing that line while I was doing my job at that time. I was in the garment industry, clothing industry. I used to manufacture clothes for all these top brands in Europe and
Yeah.
US. Yeah, and then gradually I started drifting. The more I realized the reality and the truth of life, and then I got to have more insights into the true meaning of the Bible. Of course, I started reading, meditating, or that with this Buddhist background in our country, so that gave me access to meditation and all that. And then you start living in a different dimension, so to speak. And then you realize, okay, I have this gift. I must make use of it. I must help people to uh, improve their lives, get over their problems. So hi, welcome. So that's how it all started. And then also I realized that I would foretell like very serious things about like pregnancies and like even local national events, saying this is going to happen, that's going to happen.
So let me
And
ask you, I just want to,
yeah,
just so I know this is probably people are curious about this. When you say like you have a knowing, because this is kind of what started happening to me, is it like a vision? Is it a voice you're hearing? What is it that you'll just know these things? Like, what do you feel or what happens to you that makes you just know these things?
yeah, that's a question to which the answers even I don't know.
Yeah.
Because when I read about such people like me who do things, they say, okay, I'm clairvoyant or this or that. I get angel guides, I get visions. Um, I mean, there are so many medium they talk about. To be honest, Don, I don't know how this happens to me. I don't see anything, I don't hear anything. I just say it. And I say sometimes the weirdest things, but maybe in a few months' time, in a few years' time, it becomes true. To be honest, I really don't know how it happens. Now, sometimes I have videos. Some of my clients, I send them video recordings of a reading, right? And maybe sometimes when I listen to that video again, I ask myself, hey, how do you know this? I don't,
Yeah.
yeah. So actually, the answer is, Don, I don't know
Yeah.
how this happens or how it happens. I just say it as if I'm saying it
Yeah.
as a normal person. But I know it comes from a different place.
Mm-hmm.
I have realized that there are two dimensions, there are two minds in the human. We have the carnal mind, which is the physical mind, the reasoning mind, the logical mind, and then we have a spiritual mind. Mind is anyway more spiritual, but I have seen this distinguish but very, very clearly, and so it is the spiritual mind that I think that's the talking. So it's like in the Bible we have in the beginning in the Garden of Eden we had the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. So the tree of life is the spiritual mind. You operate from there, where there's no duality, there's no friction, it's all one. And then we have the tree of the knowledge of good and bad, which is the mind of reasoning, the mind of judgment, how we judge people, the mind of prejudices. Right?
Everything we're taught, basically, like we're taught from when we're kids.
Yes, but we did not understand it what it was. We were told, it's something else. So we should also be able to live in those two dimensions simultaneously. We don't have to do one and not do the other. Like sometimes you become extreme. You want to live like a hermit, right? But what I'm saying is you don't need to do that. Yeah, you can live in the commercial world, in this physical world, and occupy. I'm sure, Don, you have also experienced this, right? The two dimensions, but it is one. It is not separate from the other. But it is one, but there are definitely two dimensions.
I don't think people are going to understand when we say like two dimensions, so to speak. So I'll just kind of it's like a mindset is the only way I think somebody could understand it. That's not there yet or awakened to that point yet. It's like, it would be like a mindset. Like when you're this is like the 3D human world. And then in your mindset, it's like when your mind is quiet, your intuition, your knowing, it's like another world. So at some point in your awakening, you come to a point where you can find the middle ground between both. And that's when you become more in touch with your gifts. If that kind of translates a little bit so that they can kind of have a better understanding, I think, of.
Yeah. So also, Don, another thing I have realized is this so-called gift. Everyone has that. Every single human being has that. We embody that, everyone. Yeah. It is just that we don't see it.
But how come it's not activated? Like, why did mine take till I'm almost freaking 40 to boom? Like, I just lived a normal life.
Yeah. The present life that we live is something that we knowingly or unknowingly that we intended, that we put into motion. Whether we remember it or not. So which people call karma. Whether you believe in karma or not is a different thing.
I believe in karma.
But this is how the world runs. Today, you are the sum total of what you compiled in your thoughts, in your intentions, in your volitions. Last week, last month, last decade, previous life. Yeah, past life, So it is something that you put in motion. Right?
So this is something while we're on this subject that I think is really cool to kind of explain, because this was a question that I had when you started talking about this stuff to me, is like everybody's biggest fear in life is like death. I'm no longer afraid of death at all, because once you have that awareness, you have nothing to be scared of. I almost fear nothing anymore. But can you explain, like when you're talking about past lives and multiple lives, like what happens to us? Because I know, but I want you to explain so that they can understand what happens to us after we pass. Like what happens to your soul? What happens to your mind?
Yeah. So now we have what we call the consciousness. We have the unconditioned consciousness and we have the conditioned consciousness. Mm-hmm. It is the conditioned consciousness that keeps us going and changes our forms from one form to another, thought forms and physical forms. Okay.
And if anybody has a question while he's going, you can put it in the chat, and he knows, like, I'll just interrupt him real quick. He doesn't care. We're like family. So if anybody has any questions, like just type it in the chat as we go along. That way he'll be able to help answer.
Yeah. So it is this consciousness that keeps us going. Okay, in the physical world, right? It is the conditioned consciousness. Then you have the unconditioned consciousness. Now it is this conditioned consciousness that gets into forms. So when we die, it's actually the form that dies. What dies is our flesh and our brain. So when that dies, we don't have an instrument to process the consciousness. It's like whether we have our radio on or not, the radio is playing in the atmosphere, right? The radio is emitting signals. We need a physical radio, the phone or whatever, to tune in and to make it to understand, right? So even if the radio on the phone is switched off, or even if our television set is switched off, the waves are still there.
Yeah.
Waves haven't died.
The energy.
But our TV has been switched off, right? Or the TV has been broken. So likewise, when we die, it is this physical body that dies. But the energy and the thought waves and the consciousness waves exist, right? And depending on our intentions, on our volitions, when this body dies, this consciousness, this energy waits for another form to be made in a womb for this consciousness to get in.
Okay, so stop there. This, I don't know if I ever asked you, so I'm curious about this. So after this happens and we're waiting to go into another form, do we choose? Do we get to choose like our parents, because I know like there's soul contracts before you're born, like people are literally karmics in your life.
We get to choose. We get to choose. But of course, sometimes we'll have to settle for the best option we have or the better option that we have. Right? Sometimes we will not get the ideal situation that we wanted. So temporarily we'll go to the best option. Like you go to a shop, you have something in mind to buy. So you know which shop you want to go to. But when you go to that shop, you will not have the exact thing that you want.
Pretty cool.
So you buy the nearest thing, okay? You go to buy a car, go to buy a dress or a car or food or whatever. You know what you want to buy, okay? You go into the right shop. You don't go to a clothes shop to buy food, So you go to the clothes shop. But when you go to the clothes shop, you find you don't have exactly what you wanted, but you buy something closest. So like that, when your physical body dies. So actually, when we talk, we must always say, "This is the body that I'm occupying." So the consciousness is always different. It's separate.
Yeah.
It will always remain without a transmitter. Now the transmitter has died. The physical body has died. So this consciousness will wait till it finds another proper transmitter forming in a womb for it to get in.
And we get to pick. That's like really. So do we get to pick based on what type of life we lived before? Like, I don't want to say good or bad because I know there's no such thing as good or bad, but like karma, like you've done good deeds, you had pure intentions when you did things. Do you get like a better choice of how your next life is going to be, or do you get more fulfillment in that?
Yes.
That next
Now,
life?
what you do in life, every thought that you put out, every feeling, every emotion, every intention that you put out, the universe is going to respond to you. The universe is not a live thing, actually. What keeps the universe alive are our intentions, our meanings, what we think, what we feel, our emotions. That's what drives the universe. The words that we speak, the actions that we do, that's what keeps the universe going. And that's how the universe gives us back. If we don't say anything, if we don't intend anything, the universe cannot give us anything. But then remember that we have like millions and millions of years of past that we have been intending, compiling thoughts, feelings, emotions. And that's what the universe gives us back. The universe won't give anything back to us on its own. We are the ones who emitted that. We are like a vibrating rod. Whatever we vibrate, that frequency, the universe looks at and gives us material, thoughts, emotions based on those vibrations. It cannot give you anything different.
So here's kind of like another question, because this is what I feel. The universe doesn't understand words as much as they understand your frequency, the vibration you're in, correct? Like if you want to manifest something for yourself, or does the universe understand words when you're speaking? Like you just say,
it's all energy. Yeah, it's all energy. It's all vibration. Energy, words are also vibrations. if the words come from your thoughts, first you have your thoughts.
So Levi says, how do I raise my vibrations? You know Levi. I introduced
Yeah,
you.
yeah. Hi, Levi. Welcome. How are you? Nice to have you here. How do you increase my vibrations? Your vibrations can be increased if you remove the layers that decrease the vibrations. Because our vibrations are inherently high. The whole universe, the vibration is high. It is one vibration, but it is our thoughts and emotions and feelings, our prejudices, our sorrows, our shame, our guilt from the past that makes our vibrations very dense and very low. So
as
instead
we
of
shed the
asking,
negative, like the old version of
you
ourselves,
remove layer
that's
by
how
layer
we
by
change it.
layer. Yeah,
People
you
think
remove
it's
the
the
layer.
opposite. People think it's the opposite. Like you have to learn these new things, but it's actually backwards is the real way.
It's undoing these things, because the more you learn, you are putting in more layers actually. The more you learn, you actually put in more layers to cover it. Because pure consciousness, which is you are, who you are, which is vibration, higher vibration, means less prejudices, less thought, less complications, less, we like to always have theories and formulas for things. We want to give explanations to things. The less they are, the more higher the frequency will be. The less dense you are. The more weight you have. It's like the treasure is there, it's here, but it's all covered with layer after layer after layer of conditioning. Now, if you take the Bible, right, there are so many explanations about the Bible. There are so many views. There are so many opinions about the Bible.
And it's not literal. Like all of it is not literal. People
it's not literal.
Interpret it their own way.
Yeah.
That's why, and every religion, this is something that needs to be explained. Out of all the religions in the world, how could one religion be right? That makes no sense.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. It's like a little bit of everything to me. To me, it's more about just believing in you, right? You create your own world.
Correct.
So for people that are gifted, well, I don't want to say people that are gifted, for people that know that they have these gifts, that are aware of their gifts, because everybody is gifted in their own way. It's their higher self.
Yes.
Speaking to them, giving them that knowing. That's basically the best way to explain. You think?
Yeah, you can say it that way. Yes. That's a way of putting it. You then also, like, even our physical skills, like, if it's sport or study or whatever, right? Each person has different levels of the skill, right? But so it's the same thing if you have a gift of being able to be psychic or being spiritually advanced. It's also a gift, but it's a common thing that everyone has. Again, it goes back to your intentions in the past, how you have been compiling your life, wanting to be in the future, so it all adds up to that.
Is that why it feels like I've had like so many deaths and rebirths just in the last few months? Because it's a shedding. It's like being reborn again every time. I feel like a new version of myself. Like I transform like a freaking transformer, like Bumblebee or something. Like it sounds stupid, but it's true.
Yes.
Because I'm losing those old parts of myself. It's not that I'm gaining something new. Because it feels like I'm gaining something new. It's that I'm losing the old.
Exactly. That's exactly what happens. But we think we have to gain some more.
So there's a question. Kyle has a question. I think if you could see it, if the universe responds to higher vibrations, how is it that the world's most evil people receive wealth, fame, status, etc.? That's a good question.
The universe responds to every vibration. Thank you for the question. Right? The universe doesn't choose. Right? The universe responds to every vibration, and it gives back every vibration. It reflects every vibration, whether it's good or bad. right? So making money is, it's an outcome of things. You can make money in a good way or bad way. That's a different thing. Making money is only a result of a process. So there are many processes to make money, right? So you can use evil ways to make money also. But then, since you had evil intentions, since you
Mm-hmm.
had evil ways of doing things, you are compiling evil for your future.
Karmic debt,
That's what
like it's like when you go in debt with a credit card. You're going into karmic debt, right? When you're doing that. If your
yeah, because
intentions
in the
are bad.
past you have done certain things where the result of which will be that you will be put into debt. But then when you are put into debt, it's a moment for you to wake up
Mm-hmm.
and understand, okay, this is why it happens. This is not the end of the world. This is just another passing thing. Now I have to do things differently so that I get out of my debt. That debt, or whether you become a millionaire, is the some outcome of something that you have done knowingly or unknowingly.
So, like an example, I don't want to let, well, I'm going to say it because I don't give a shit. Bill Gates, right?
Hmm.
I love your face. We're so petty. We're like, Bill Gates, right? Him and his little demonic plans, like everybody doesn't know what he's doing. Why is he so wealthy? It's not fair. Like, why is he enabled to do that? Why does he have
What's
the
unfair?
ability?
Well, there's nothing unfair in that, because that's what he intended. That's the vibration he put out, not only one in a year or two, but over time. That's what he put out, and that's how he conditioned himself, and that's the energy that he put out to the world, to the universe, and the universe responded back the same exact vibrations he put out. If another person can put out the same vibrations, which is not possible because each person, human being, is individualized. We say in God's eye, every human being is different. I mean, scientifically also it has been proven, not only in form, in shape, but even in thought process, we are all different. So there can never be another person like Bill Gates or Elon Musk or anyone like that, or even the most evil people. Every time it's different, right? So it's a fallacy that you go and read books um, about him, about Bill Gates. You can never be no point reading a book about him,
No.
because what you do can be bigger than what he did.
Yeah.
You have that ability. So reading a book is just a fallacy, thinking, okay, I will follow this method, it's not going to work. You have to have your own, you have to find your own self, find your own method, and move forward in this universe. And the universe will not uh, be judgmental. It is choiceless. Whatever you put out, the universe puts back.
So this is something that I think you should go over. This is, I tell this to people all the time. They'll manifest and they give the universe all the power. Like, the universe gave me this gift. The universe did this. I want you to explain to people how it really works. That's not how it works. The universe works for your ass.
The universe is dead. The universe is a dead place. You just look out.
Yep.
You look, it's dead. You are the one but the universe is resourceful. It's like I call it, it's a production facility. It has all the raw material. It has everything, all the humans, all the animals, all the birds, all the fish, all the trees, all the waters. The earth has, and the universe has the energy. It's all dead. But we are the ones, through our intentions, that we put things into motion. Even the planets move because of our intentions, which we had done over millions of years ago.
Now, when you say intentions, is it thoughts also? Thoughts, words, and vibration?
Yes, that's what intention is.
So even if you're speaking every day, I want to be financially abundant. If you're thinking, damn, I'm broke right now, it's not going to come. Like, that's what I try to
That's not
explain.
an intention. That is not an intention. That is just a declaration. It's not intention is different. Intention comes from a different place. The meaning you give to that. You know,
Hmm.
what does it mean? Being rich, what does it mean to you and to me and to someone else? It's different. The feeling is different for me to be rich, wealthy, or a millionaire or whatever, or happiness. The feeling of happiness is the same, but the meaning is different for different people.
Yeah. But let's say somebody wants to be a millionaire. How would you explain to them, like, what they would have to do or say to manifest that?
Okay, first of all, to be a millionaire or to be a sports star or to be a movie star or to be a normal executive or anything,
Yeah.
before being that, you should know what it is. You should know to feel that. If you cannot feel that now, you will never get it. If you cannot feel what it is to be with a good woman or a good man, if you cannot feel what it means to be a parent, if you cannot feel what it means to be a millionaire, if you cannot inhabit that feeling, that is the strange thing. It's like a
Hmm.
paradox. If you cannot inhabit that feeling, it will be a big struggle for you to get there.
Yeah. And I think that's what most people struggle
So
with.
you
Derek had a
have to,
question. He had a question. I
yes,
don't know if you can read it. Simply stating your intention wouldn't necessarily absolve you, right? If your intention was not pure, then you will face that debt regardless, correct?
yes. Now, where the universe is concerned, there's nothing called pure intentions, good intentions, bad intentions. An intention also is a vibration, right? So if it is at this level, we say, you know, there are different levels. If you put something out at this level, you get something back at this level. So if you had done something bad, if you have cheated someone, if, you know, so it's that level of vibration. So the universe will put it back to you so that you will experience that intention that you put out on someone else. The universe is it doesn't choose. Whatever you put out, it gives you back. But then you can have new intentions to override the old ones. We can always do revision. We can always correct ourselves. We can always repent on the bad intentions we put out, even before it comes back. Now, if you can remember, okay, I did something bad, or I had a bad intention for someone, even before that karma comes to you can remember it, you can reverse it and put it out. So it's like a revision. It's like a
But you would have
correction.
to really mean it. It's not like you could just say, "Oh, I did this," but
Oh, no, no, no. That's what I said, intention.
hmm
It has to come from within. It can't be just pure words. You know, I mean, I can use bad language, filth language, but I don't mean it. You know, we can say things like that. So
hmm
in the same way, it has to be always meaningful. It has to have a meaning behind every word. You just okay, you can say, I can use a word and say, what does this word mean? That is one thing. The other one is, what is the meaning of the word? That is something else.
hmm
Right now, if I use the word, let's say shit, right? What is the meaning of the word shit?
there's a
Then
lot.
there's another side. What does that word mean? They're two different things.
Uh-oh, you froze. He's in Sri Lanka, so give his Wi-Fi a second. Hopefully, is it you or am I going to sit here and just start singing All by Myself again by Celine Dion? Because I don't think anybody wants to hear that again. So let's see. Is it you frozen or me frozen? Thank you, popcorn. All right, so it's not me. Unfreeze, Genie. You're magical. It's him. I can't hear him or anything right now, so yeah. He'll unfreeze. Just give him a minute. Or he'll message me. Let me see if he messages. So yeah, you guys, if you have any questions or anything, like at the end, he will also he'll come back in. Let me just tell him to click the link in the email again. Yeah, he could have lost connection. When he first came in, it was like a little bit like that too, because he's on his phone and he couldn't get his computer to work right. But I was surprised he had a really good signal. He'll get back in. Hear me sing. Odie. Thank you. Yeah, for people that are interested in this, like, I tell you, I was a victim. I had a victim mentality. My life ran me. It was all about what cards I was dealt in life and why did I get this shitty hand and why is this not fair and that not fair. That was my mindset until he taught me a whole different way of life. And that's the person that you guys know me as now, is a lot of his teaching me those things. And he was a hardcore teacher, like militant, like he had no, I'll wait for him to come back to talk about that. Here he is.
Okay.
We see you, you're back.
Okay, back. Yeah. I lost you also, but I saw the text coming, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want to let you know to click the link again. They were asking, like I was talking while you were gone. I was talking about how like I had a victim mentality, like these are the cards I dealt with, life's so unfair, until I met you and you just showed me a different way. When you understand the meaning of life and that you have a purpose, when you understand all of those things, you just start to think differently.
Yes. Now, let me answer that question in this way. In life, we encounter situations and circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
We are the ones who name it, who label it, and say this is good or this is bad.
Yeah.
We are the ones who say this is a problem.
Yep.
Okay. So actually, at the very, very basic level, at the very very fundamental level, there are only situations and circumstances, physical or psychological. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
we, based on our conditioning, we call it good or bad. We judge it and we say, I don't like this or I like it. It's perfectly okay. That's the way the humans operate. But then that judgment that we made of that situation or that circumstance is what we are going to compile for our present moment and our future. Now, Don, you said that you were feeling what?
I think most people in the way I felt too is like almost like victim mentality.
That's
Like
right. Yeah. So
I'm a victim of my circumstance, of what happens.
So you take that circumstance as a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you say, I am a victim of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So on the surface, it seems so. But when you keep saying that, what are you doing? You are reinforcing that. You are not letting it go. Although you say you don't like it, but you are reinforcing that. You're holding on to that energy.
And it's so
Saying you
stuck in
don't
your
go,
head because
yeah,
you've been taught it your whole life. So
yeah.
at
So
what point did
the
the
victim
shift?
is gone. The victimness is gone,
Yeah. Oh, I
right?
don't have it.
But you're holding on to that thought form and you're
Mm-hmm.
continuing that situation. And the universe will keep sending you opportunities and situations
To be
to
the
be a victim.
victim. Thank you. Like,
You
and we
see?
all do this.
So you have to step out
Everybody
of it.
does this.
Yeah, you have to step out of this mentality, first of
Yes.
all. It's unfortunate this happened to you, yes, but don't dwell in that. Where you dwell is your address. Your mail come there.
I love
Right?
that. Say it again. Say it again.
People visit you there. What did I say?
Say it again. Where you dwell is your address. That I
Yeah.
loved it. I
Where
love
you
that.
live is your address. So your
Not where you
mail
live,
comes
where you
there,
dwell.
your guests come there. So that means your mail, your guests means your problems, your opportunities, what you like, what you dislike.
Mm-hmm.
Is where things come, right? Your address, right? So don't dwell there. Make your address a beautiful place. Your address first,
Yeah.
then good things will come to you.
Fuck.
You know.
Yeah.
So
I think
this
people need to
address,
understand that because so many people are like, well, I had a rough childhood. Well, I had this ex and he's an asshole and he did this to me. Well, all these things happen to me. And then I think people don't realize, well, you become a victim. Guess what? You put yourself in these shitty, dramatic circumstances. When you're done with that relationship, what's the next relationship that's coming in? Another drama filled, toxic
yeah.
relationship, even worse, right?
Yeah, because you're looking for another man or another woman, dwelling in that problem that you got rid of.
It's so
The
true.
cause of the problem is gone now, but you're maintaining that energy in you. So what else can the universe give you? That is what you're emitting. The universe is always fair. It will never ask you questions. It will never say you deserve this or you don't deserve it. Whatever you put out, anything, the universe will put back. Then in between, however pure you think you are, in between there are so-called bad things coming to your life. But then that is because this life is a movement all the time. And there are things that you had intended in the past. The universe has to honor those requests that you made also, you know.
The stuff we
And
have
it,
to suffer that was predestined
yeah,
for us
so
before we were born.
the universe never forgets. It will always send you those things, you know.
Mhm.
So always think of the universe or the world or your environment as a production facility. This is what I call it's a manufacturing facility. Anything you order with your words, your thoughts, or your deeds, that's an order you're making. You go to a restaurant, you look at the menu, or you create your own menu, and you say, "Hey, I want this," and that the so-called manufacturing plant, which is the universe, which is your environment, will give you that order back. If you don't like that order, you definitely can reorder. You don't have to hold on to that order and keep yelling at the waiter who brought you that order.
I love
You
it. But
understand?
everything's so certain things are predestined, like soul contracts and stuff like that. So hi Ligi. So it's not like you can just order like, hey guys, I want Brad Pitt to ring my doorbell tomorrow if Brad Pitt has a soul contract with someone else, because then that would be like a black magic type thing, right? Like that's not,
Yeah.
people can't be doing that, and that's not what you want to be doing. Like that's, there's dark and there's light,
Okay,
and
Don. Okay, let me explain this to you. This is something very interesting. You cannot order forms. You know,
ah,
forms,
yeah,
formation.
yeah,
It doesn't work that way because a formation is already a formation.
I got
A
it.
formation is like a stone, it's already fixed. You
If
understand?
somebody's
So
like, I want a girl with 36D boobs and a 25-inch waist and a packet in their
again,
back, like you
again, it's
can't
a
place
form.
to order like large fries and a burger, like
If you want Brad Pitt, if you want Brad Pitt,
at Pitt.
if you want a woman with these statistics, okay,
It's shallow.
this is where it starts. This is where it starts. If you have Brad Pitt, how will you feel? If you have a woman with these statistics, how
Yeah.
will you feel? So start with the feeling. You know, when you say you want to have this woman as your wife, if you want to have this car, if you want to have this house, if you want to have this job, don't look at the form.
Yeah.
Look inside you and see how will I feel or what will I feel if I get this. If you cannot feel that now, you will never get it.
Yeah.
What we do is we make the mistake of thinking of the form,
Yeah.
not of the feeling that I will have if I get that form. So you have to start at the source. You can't start at the end. You have to start at the raw material level. You
So
can't
like
think of the,
Derek wants an Australian lady with big boobs and like red hair. So he's gonna have to fix his order.
he has to fix his feeling of how he will feel.
Derek. But he wants that so bad. I'm like, I'm gonna find this girl for you. I'm telling you, I am determined. I'm gonna put that order in. I got the genie now too. I'm gonna put that order in.
Okay, you
Yeah,
know,
that's
everything, every element on this planet, in the universe, every material exists in three forms. We know that, right?
mm-hmm.
Solid, liquid, gas.
No,
Okay.
that's just very now we're going into like Bill Nye the
No, no,
Science.
no. I'm talking normal science. We
Yeah.
know every material in this universe exists in three forms, either as solid or as liquid or as gas.
So what is an Australian with big boobs? Is she a liquid, I
Wait,
guess?
wait,
Or...
let me explain to you how to manifest this
Because
woman,
you're losing me here.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So if you take water, you have ice, which is the solid form of water. Then you have water, which is liquid form. Then you have vapor, which is the spirit
Yeah.
form, or which you call the gas form. Okay, solid, liquid, gas. Now, is it easier to change? Now it's called H2O, right? This thing is called H2O. So it exists in three forms.
AMC gang.
That is, hey, hi.
That's
This
Jordan.
as
Jordan.
ice, as water, or as vapor. Now I'll ask you, what is the easiest form to change when water is? Is it when it is solid, when it is liquid, or when it is gas? When it is solid, to change that, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
You have to hammer it, you have to break it, you have to make noises, you have to make a
Would it
big
be
effort.
liquid or gas?
But when it is liquid, it's very easier because it moves, But there are solid parts in that also, in water,
Gas.
in liquid, right? But when it is vapor, it's spirit level. It can take any form. You don't even see it. It is so light, right? So Derek, go back to the level of spirit. You have already gone to the level of being solid. You have solidified your intention. So it can't move. It can't manifest because it's already fixed. You can't change it. So instead of manifesting these particular features, instead of manifesting Brad Pitt or any other woman, right, or this car, first go to how you will feel if you had this woman. You can use that form to generate a feeling in you, to generate an emotion in you.
Well, now I have a question. Because this is going to be this is where it comes into play of these soul contracts and everything that's predestined. What if there was like 10 men on Twitter and they all have a crush on me and they all want to sit there and manifest me and they can't they can't do that, right? They can manifest that form for themselves, but not that person, right?
No, both were not correct what you said. You can only manifest. Now, I can look at you and I can want you. There can be 10 more people looking at you, they can want you. But if I can't imagine what I will feel if I have you.
Cloning. But what if everybody imagines what it feels and there's only one person? Like, you can't. That's what I'm trying to say.
The level of feeling is different, Dawn. I can't feel the same way as you feel about someone. So the person who thinks of it and believes in that feeling the most is the person who will manifest that closest.
Yeah, got it. So it's like gonna be probably the person that that's already kind of predestined out that.
Because your I mean, I'm not talking about you personally. Your form can be so beautiful, right? Yeah. But if I start living with you, you can be the most horrible woman from day 2.
I used to be. I was a bitch. Before you, I was a bitch. I had to be.
So God bless that person who would have manifested you before that,
He got exactly what he asked for.
Yeah.
Trust me.
That's what I'm saying. So that's the mistake of going after the form without going after if you had intended, if you had felt, I feel this kind of happiness, I feel this kind of satisfaction, I feel this kind of fulfillment.
Ooh, I got something good. So a lot of people that are in here, they're in here from my business, my Discord, right? I made a Santa room in there and I go in there all the time and I talk to Santa Claus and I don't care what anybody thinks about me. And I tell them I'm going to make them millionaires. I don't care. I'm going to make them believe in themselves and they're going to be millionaires. I am telling you, I've already embodied this. This is happening. There is not a doubt.
Yeah. That's right, because you didn't limit yourself
Dawn,
with
it's
a
going to
phone.
happen.
This will definitely happen, Don, because you see, in your
See?
statement, in your intention, you didn't limit yourself to a form.
Yep.
When you say millionaire,
It
it's
exists.
open.
Right?
It's open. You know, it's open.
It's not even, I'm not even putting a limit on it. I want
Yeah.
them to have unlimited financial abundance because that's what they deserve. They've been through enough and they deserve it. And they believed in me when nobody believed in me. And
Yeah.
I want them to have that.
So getting, you know, I think you have a lot of followers who come with you and, trade on stocks. I'm telling these people, if you want to make a big hit,
Yeah.
first do your homework. When you go to bed, try to embody a certain feeling. How will I feel if I hit $10,000 today, tomorrow? Not tomorrow, now. How
It's like
will
an
I feel?
imagination, like being a kid. You have to really be in it
Yeah, you
and
have to
believe it.
first embody that emotion, that feeling. If you can't, if you are just going by this $10,000 number, if you are just
Yeah.
going by what you are going to do with the $10,000, you are not going to do it. You
Yep.
can, but you have to put in a lot of effort.
I tell this all the time. So there's somebody in here, that Eric Odin, you see him in the chat. So
Yes.
I'm always telling him, he is gifted. I feel it. He is gifted. I know this. He gets in his own way the way I used to. He's just like me. He gets in his own head and he blocks himself all the time. Oh, do you want to come on, Odie? Do you want to come on real quick? I would love to have him like come on real quick because I'm telling you, he needs like just that little, or you can even just tell him he needs that little bit of just guidance on how does he get past that block that he keeps placing on himself. What does he need to do?
You see, another big hindrance to the free flow of energy is anxiety.
Yes, I don't have that anymore. Do you have
You
any
know,
anxiety, Odie?
and
Used to.
also, Don, remember this. I used to always tell you neediness.
Neediness. Oh yeah, I already taught them. Eliminate the word need from your vocabulary. It does not exist. You need nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, you know, and mostly the tension of wanting something, the tension, the anxiety that blocks the free flow of energy. So the universe doesn't get the exact energy that you want. It gets a distorted version of it. So it gives you distorted results. And you say, hey, this is not what I asked. I'm getting
Yeah.
something else. No, this is exactly what you asked.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like you can order a burger, but if in your mind you keep like, oh no, is this burger gonna come or is it gonna be a
Yeah,
chicken
that's
nugget? Guess
right.
what
I
you're
mean, what I'm
getting? You're
going to
getting a
do, yeah,
chicken nugget.
with the beef we go with that, you know.
You're getting no boobs, Derek. You'll get no boobs. Okay? No
And no red
accent.
hair. And no red hair.
No red hair. I can't. But it's true. Like when you want something so bad, you become needy for it because you want it. In any form. It could be love, it can be money, it can be any form. You don't realize that you're doing it, but we all are human and we have like an ego. And until you get to a certain like level in your awakening, in your spirituality, you're going to have that neediness for that thing. Even if you
Yes.
don't think you do. I thought so many times my neediness was gone and it wasn't. It took me a very long time to rid my neediness. Hey, Tim. Oh my God, I love everybody. Hi there. I haven't been able to find you in forever. I hope you're doing well. And by the way, oh, thank you. Now I feel stupid that I read that out loud. I wasn't trying to get attention. I promise. You guys are amazing though. Always full of freaking compliments. So yeah, he had a lot of fear and anxiety at the beginning of the month. So Odin was feeling a lot of like fear and anxiety about like finances and stuff like that. And I knew he knows how to do this.
So Odin, you know, fear, anxiety, or all this, then even desire, wanting something, all those are only a starter for us. Like, for example, hunger. if you're hungry, that tells you you need food, right? So if you desire something, that is fine, right? If you need something, that is perfectly okay. But then that is only a signal saying, hey, I want this. Then you got to get back to work and say, okay, this is how I will feel if I fulfill myself. Then you got to remove that neediness and put it into action. So the action is, the first action you do is to feel complete, that you're fulfilled. How you will feel when you're fulfilled with that. Then the rest will happen automatically or easily.
You have to embody it almost as if you already
Yeah,
have
and then
it.
the universe will guide you. Then your environment, your friends, your colleagues will conform to that feeling. But you
So
have to
here's
embody that
something,
feeling.
and that you taught me that I want the world to know, and I know we'll go over this again because we'll do another one of these. Law of assumption trumps law of attraction. I personally think law of attraction is BS, kind of, because law of assumption trumps it, right? It's just
Yeah.
you take on, explain like what law of assumption is so people can understand.
Yeah. Now I'll start with law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Law of attraction means like attracts like, right? You always throw garbage where there's garbage. You don't go and throw garbage elsewhere, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So if there's garbage comes there. If there's a beautiful garden, if the garden is well maintained, people will not throw anything there. They will not litter that place. People get attracted there. Nice people get attracted there. People with good minds, good hearts, right? So that is the law of attraction. So similarly, the universe, our environment, people get attracted to your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings. Okay? So then what is the core of that attraction? What is the center of that gravitation? It is what you assume, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everything starts with an assumption. Everything starts with the intention. You got to assume that you're a millionaire first.
Yep.
Without the form, you got to assume that feeling. Then you dwell in that
Basically,
feeling.
I would take that as like just being happy within yourself, being fulfilled and feeling like you have everything.
Complete. That's right. So when you feel complete, even if it's not true in the physical world, but it is the feeling that matters. Then
That's
what happens is the vibration, So when you feel fulfilled, when you feel happy, what happens is, I told you it's a vibration again. The universe will respond with an equal vibration and send you opportunities, circumstances that conform to that vibration. So that that happiness will very soon bring you good opportunities, and very soon the bad place that you were in physically will disappear, will begin to disappear, because you were embodying happiness. It looks like a fake happiness. Never mind whether it's fake or not. The universe doesn't care. It will only follow your vibration. You can create happiness in a fake way. You can embody that feeling. If you cannot embody that feeling, you will never get it.
So are you reading Derek's question?
Yeah.
Not kind of, but not really, right? It's not. You don't want to say thankful for having an opportunity, because then you still don't have it, right?
Yeah. You must, Derek, you have to, now again, Derek, you're missing the point of embodying that feeling. You have to first get that feeling. Because without that feeling, but what you are saying is better than the other one. Of course, yes. But this is not exactly what should be done. It is better than saying I want this to happen. It's better to say, like you said, I'm thankful to having this. It's better to say that. But yet better is to feel and say, I'm already happy. I know that I'm having a wonderful Christmas.
You see what Odin wrote? Look
That's
what Odin
another
wrote.
very practical thing I'll teach you. There's another very practical practice that you must do. When you leave home every morning, either going to work or going to the supermarket or going shopping or marketing or whatever, before leaving home, when we were young, our parents used to hold hands and say prayers. God protect us when we are out, when we help us to come back, be with us, guide us throughout the day. When we come back home, bring us home safely and all that, we used to do that, right? Instead of saying all those words, before leaving home, pause for a few seconds and imagine that you have come back home, not that you're going to leave home. Imagine now I have come back home having done everything that I wanted to do for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you're creating that feeling of having come home after a successful day. I did my work. I got the best stuff that I wanted. I got very fresh vegetables. I got good this, that, and the other. I finished
We
my
want good
work.
trades. We don't want vegetables.
Yeah. So you embody that feeling before you leave home.
Yep.
And if you have a partner or a family, you can say, oh wow, we had a good day today. We went shopping, we bought everything that we wanted. You haven't still gone out of the house even, but you say those words, you embody that feeling and move out of the house. Come back in the evening and see what has happened, see the difference.
Yeah.
You would have fulfilled the whole day, would have been fulfilling, would have been joyous. That's what you must do. You say that's also intention again. You embodied the feeling of being complete even before you left home. Right? Rather than saying, oh my God, I have to do this. I hope it will become right. I hope I will pass my interview.
I know that's what everybody does automatically as humans.
Yeah.
They automatically are taught
If you are
that.
going for a job interview,
Anxiety.
before going for that, imagine you have come back after the interview. Hey, mom, or tell your boyfriend or girlfriend, I got my job. They chose me. You haven't even left, but you say that and leave the home.
Yep.
So when you come back home, the universe will make sure that you come back home and embody that feeling.
Yep.
And continue to embody that feeling.
I love it. Because so many people don't understand these things. And it's like just the little things, the way that those little tweaks can make such a difference. Everybody usually blocks themselves from the things that
and
they
also
want.
we have been conditioned from our childhood. We have been conditioned.
Mm-hmm.
We have to study hard. We have to work hard.
Yeah.
We have to fight for this. We have to do this and that. And we have been conditioned that way. We have been conditioned to work through our sweat of the brow. Like when you were put out of the Garden of Eden, God condemned you to sweat, to live, to toil, to till the ground, to work with your sweat and blood and all that, right? So that's why our that's what condemns us. Our own thoughts put us into that situation, put us into that frequency. But whereas we are supposed to live in heaven, the peace of God which passeth all understanding, which means all understanding means that the logical world, the physical world is what we understand. The reasoning world. We say, oh no, my God, it's so difficult to do this. It's so difficult to make up $10,000. We had to do this, I had to study that, I had to go through university for 4 years. That is working through sweat and blood.
Yep.
But you don't have to go down that path. You can go dwell in the peace of God, in the peace of knowing that you are this by embodying that feeling.
The road less taken.
Right? Yeah.
I think people need to realize so much of the suffering that we go through, this is again like the victim mentality. We put it on that person, that family member, this person made me suffer. But it's actually you're allowing that suffering. It's you that's allowing that feeling and that brings it.
Yeah. Now Kim has said something very well. Be aware of your surroundings. Once your vibration is raised, things will begin to change. Bingo. People around you change. They will conform to your vibration.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying. you know.
Like me and Kim found each other. Like I don't even know. Like it was we just stood out to each other like a magnet, and it's just like like the frequency. It's like we just picked up on that light. I can't explain it any other way,
Yeah,
but
so light attracts light. You put
yeah,
out that vibration, he put out that vibration, and the universe made sure that those two vibrations attract
it's
and meet.
everybody that has been
Yeah.
cut since I changed
No,
that
no,
has.
I noticed people who are coming here. I mean, I can read vibrations here also from my
Oh yeah, he
psychic
reads
side.
energy. We're leaving that part
Yeah,
out. Like he can tell you about your health, all that. Like we're gonna get into all that too.
right. I mean, here, you're lucky, Don. You have some nice people with you, you
Yeah.
know. It's
Oh, I know.
wonderful. It's wonderful. They embody a good, very, very higher level of vibration than the usual people. They are open to it. That is very
Yes.
important,
No
you know.
judgment. There's no judgment.
Yeah,
Like when I say that we all sit there and we trade and everybody's cheering each other on. And if somebody has a bad day, everybody's supportive. I've never seen, I'm not saying this because I'm like, oh, this is my business or whatever. I'm saying this that I've never even been in a physical place or an online place or any place that existed. There is not an ounce of negativity in there. It's all like a positivity bubble. I feel so fulfilled when I'm in there, and I know so many of them feel the same thing. We talk about it all the time. Like it's
yeah.
almost too good to be true type of a feeling. Like it just gels so perfectly.
Mm. So you get a feeling like Justin says, you know, I got a feeling I can't hide. But then you got to see, Justin, whether this is the feeling that you really want for this
Yeah.
moment and for the future, you know, because this is what, if you're going to do, if you dwell in that feeling,
Lindsay, what's happening? You're about to be awakened. Pepto Bismol and Tylenol, just in case, okay? If you have the runs or anything tomorrow, just giving you the lowdown. As you awaken spiritually, sometimes you get physical symptoms. We need to get into that too. Oh my God. Yes. I love AMC gang. He always gets it. That is something I want to talk about because I don't know if that happens to everybody, but Genie was there for mine. I would like have to call him sometimes. There was a month straight, I think, because I went through everything so fast. I don't know why. It just happened to me so fast. My way, like, you almost go into like a spiritual psychosis for like 4 days. And then after that, it's like, all right, you're back to normal, but you see the world differently and your body's trying to adjust to this new version of you, kind of, I guess, is the way to explain it. Like you can't regulate. I couldn't regulate my body temperature. I'd get hot. I'd get cold. I'd get hot. I'd get cold. I would have to go to the bathroom every 5 minutes. I would have a headache. I would have pressure in my head. My ears would be ringing. Like these are real. People don't believe these things, but they're called ascension symptoms. Is that what you call them?
Well done, James. Wonderful. James is beautiful. Look at that.
Oh my God. Damn it. Told you I was
Yeah,
gonna need it.
but now see James, what he's doing, he's moving forward. He's living life. You know, his assumption is so powerful that he's living out of that. He can assume otherwise. He can choose to be something else and sob for the rest of his life, and then that's what you will get. That doesn't mean that you're being cold. That doesn't mean that you're having a stone heart.
Yes,
You know, this is the real situation. You remember that what happened, and that was a reality. But then you chose that life should be different for you in the future, and in honor of that person also. You know, because that person will not want you to, you know, live a life of sorrow for the rest of your life, right? Your mom brought you into this world to make you a good man. She would have been delighted to see you like this, not being in sorrow for the rest of your life and cursing everyone else and creating your own bad karma. You know, I mean, bravo, hats off to
Thank
you,
you for
wonderful.
sharing.
So
Yeah.
lovely
Thank
to
you
have
for
you.
sharing
Yes,
that. It's amazing.
thanks for sharing this. So this is exactly what I say: embodying the right feeling. Then that's how the world will turn out to you and manifest. You know, that's how the universe will give you things. That's how it will return things to you. This is so beautiful, you know.
Man, I feel like everybody goes through different versions of suffering, some which, you know, some people would consider way worse than other people. But it's just amazing when people open up. Everybody, I think, feels so alone in life because there's so much shit like people just don't want to admit to, or they feel ashamed of, or they don't want to talk about, or they don't want to think about it. So we just like sweep it under that rug, and that rug gets full of piles of shit that you never deal with. And in order to heal and get to a certain level of awakening, you have to go back in time and deal with that shit. That's
Yes, you see, ignoring the past
can't avoid it.
is not the right thing, because even the past was once the present.
Yeah.
Okay, so during that present, you created a certain vibration, you created a certain movement. Okay, now that has gone to the past, but that movement is also energy. That energy has to be acknowledged. You can't escape from that.
Yeah.
You have to deal with it. You have to, and then you got to acknowledge it, and then you put it behind and say, okay, I understand this. I have fully understood this. I don't need this anymore. And then you can leave it. But you can't ignore it. You can't run away from it. You can't resist it. Because if you do that, it will still keep coming at you and say, hey, look here, this energy is still here around, you know, it will come, because it's energy, it's a movement. It will come and meet you again in your future. If not today, maybe next year or 10 years later, it will come and confront you. So you got to acknowledge, like a child, you know, these 3-year-old children, when you have guests at home, just to get your attention, they come and do things, right? They come and they just tap in your hand and go,
Yeah.
and you are still talking with your friends who have not acknowledged the child. Then the child will make a noise. Still, you are not acknowledging the child. The child will drop something from an ornament from your table or something. Makes up damage.
Yeah.
Right? So these things are also like that. These energy movements, they come and confront you. You have to acknowledge it and say, okay, I know you are here. You are my child. You are my creation. I created this energy, and that's why I'm like this, right? But now I'm over it. I'm getting over it. I'm putting this to pass.
Yeah. You have to feel
you're
it.
not, yeah, you got to feel it, and then you move on. But you
You taught me.
can't shove it under the rug,
I
so to
always did
speak.
that my whole life. I avoided
You can't
everything.
do
If
that.
I don't want to feel it, I don't want to deal with it. I want to numb it. I'm gonna eat it away. Some people drink it away.
Yeah.
Whatever everybody does. Like that's what I did all the time. I don't want to avoid it. I'm just gonna look past it. And you don't realize at some point in your life, you're gonna have to take those step backwards and deal with it. So you might as well just deal with shit when it happens. Now when something happens, I'm like, I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna cry for 10 minutes, and then we're moving along. That's it. Release.
Yeah.
Feel it and release it, so that energy doesn't stay in you and hold you back.
So I always will keep repeating this, or however much bored you get, that, you know, intentions, the meaning, the feeling is the key. You know,
Yeah.
that's where you got to start. That's what drives and moves the universe. I'm telling you, Don, I don't know whether people have said this before or not. If our intentions, if our our feelings, if our meaning, if the human consciousness doesn't exist, the universe cannot exist, because this whole universe runs on that, runs on intention, runs on meaning. You know, it doesn't mean meaningful. I don't mean that, right? But everything has to and has a meaning. Everything. It doesn't. I hope I'm not saying it in the wrong way. We say, okay, everything happens for a reason. That is not that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Everything happens for a reason. I'm not talking about that. That is something else. What I'm saying is, every intention that comes from the human mind as a thought is what runs the fate of mankind. It's what
Got
runs
it.
the fate of the universe.
That's really important.
Yeah.
That's really important, because even if you're a person that sits there and talks all day, right? This is where I talk about, I don't want to say like fake people, but it is true. If you sit there all day and you're to talk about have a great mindset, live in positivity and all this, but in your mind's like, that's not what you're meaning, and you don't have those sort of intentions, it's not doing anything good.
Yeah.
Because the universe can feel your vibrations
Yeah,
inside,
the
right?
inner core
More
is
than the
still
words
there.
you're speaking. Like that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
the inner core is still there. It is vibrating at a different level. Then the worst thing is you are living in conflict with your own self.
Yeah.
You are inhabiting, you are dwelling in on something, but you're outwardly or something else. So that is even worse. You're creating a conflict with your own self. You're not in unison with yourself. Then that makes it worse, because then the universe will send you conflicts all the time to your
Oh,
life.
chaos. I lived in chaos. It was always chaos and drama.
Yeah.
Lord. Hi, London. London's so funny. I can't believe he came in here. Lord. This is Genie, just to catch you up. Oh my God, I'm not even gonna deal with it. Just behave in here, London. I can't. He's so funny. Oh my God. So this is a good question that I have for you. So like the awakening process, the spirituality part of it, is it the more you become aware of those things, then you suddenly get these gifts? Like where does this whole like intuitive knowing start?
Okay, this is coming from not knowledge,
Consciously.
right? This is not coming from knowledge. You can read a million books,
Oh yeah, no.
and you can increase your knowledge. You can improve your knowledge. You can improve the information. You can improve information. But there's something else, Don, called intelligence. Intelligence is universal. Intelligence is in everything, in every cell of your body, even in a tree, even in an atom. There's intelligence. So that is where this is stored, or in the sense that is what is it's compiled of, intelligence. So whatever you call it, this your inner self, your awakening, but we distort intelligence by using knowledge, conventional knowledge, modern knowledge, which is all compilations of theories. Now today we say 10, 15 years ago we were told the universe is like this, or this was like this, but today we are told something else. Knowledge has changed. Even about the human body, we were told that this is how the body works, but today we are told it works in a different way. In another 10 years time we will be told that's knowledge. But intelligence is totally different. It doesn't have right or wrong. So it is this intelligence that comes out and expresses itself. So whether it's awakening, whether it's realization, whether it's awareness, it is this universal intelligence that is at work, which the human being is the most active player to play it out.
Yeah.
Through our intentions again, through our actions, through our volitions.
So I feel like our whole lives, like I always talk about, listen to that little inner voice, not the voice in your head, not the logical brain. It's just, and it's that feeling, and it's not even an emotion. It's that gut feeling when you get in a car with that, like when you're around a stranger and you just get that oof, like that energy almost. Like everybody can read energy, they just don't realize it. But is it like the more you become spiritually enlightened, the more that gift becomes greater and you just become more aware of the energy, and it starts cultivating into how you can predict things or know certain things? Is that what's happening to me? Because I don't know what's happening to me sometimes.
Yeah. That's one small aspect, Don. There are bigger things happening to you, right? Now, what you said now was just a very small aspect of it, right? Where you feel, because there's a thing like this. Some people cannot distinguish between the two. They say gut feeling and they go with their mind feelings.
Mm-hmm.
They say it's instinctive gut feeling, but they actually are going with the conditioned thought patterns. if you look at it from the very, very deepest level, there's nothing called gut feeling. The gut feeling also comes from how you were conditioned. If you really look deep into it,
For me, my gut feeling is like my knowing.
What you're saying is something else. We use the word gut feeling very, very freely. Gut feeling is also a form of being conditioned. You and I can be in the same situation. We have two different gut feelings of the same situation. Your gut feeling was based on your conditioning. My gut feeling is based on my conditioning. But what you are referring to, I know because I know you, I'm telling you, it's a different thing altogether. It's actually not gut feeling.
What is it?
It's like a knowing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like a knowing.
Yeah, it's a knowing. Knowing and gut feeling are two different things.
Yeah,
Gut
but I guess
feeling is
that's
very
the way
much.
I explain it for people to get started on the journey, because there's no way to just say, "Oh, you have a knowing." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
what
yeah,
the hell
yeah.
is a knowing? Like, I don't have a knowing. Like,
Because people
it's
say
a feeling.
I did this out of a gut feeling and do all the wrong things, and they continue to do it. No, I did it because I had a gut feeling, I did it because I had a gut feeling.
Did anybody have any questions so far about anything? We went over like so many things already. It's crazy. About and if anybody has like a personal question, I think it'd be pretty cool. Now, if somebody had a personal question, right? Like as if they were a paying client and they were just doing a reading and had one question for you about their own life. Do you need to see something of them, or can you feel their energy just from a chat?
Kim, I think now see what Kim has said is good, huh? Some gut feelings are primal, biology to protect us. But that's what I said, we have used this word. It's good that he uses the word within inverted commas, gut feeling, We have started to call everything gut feeling.
Yeah. Kyle has a question if you want to answer. Is there an end goal for consciousness, spirit throughout our lifetimes, like a heaven or an eternal resting place? That's a good question.
There's no end goal because life is a dynamic process. Life is a dynamic process. Life is not the life forms that we are talking about. So it is the human mind that always talks about a goal. The universe or the which I call the spiritual mind doesn't have a goal. It is a dynamic process. It just keeps moving. It moves in a circle, not in a line. When you talk about a line, you have a goal. You have a start, you have a finish.
Yeah.
Right? So he says, is there an end goal for consciousness, spirit, throughout our lifetime? Through our lifetime, we can create individual goals and intentions. When you say lifetime, it is a life limit, right? The form, the time of that form.
I think, to not complicate it, I guess the answer is like you said to me when I asked you this. You told me, you're not coming back again. This is your last life you're going to live as a human. You already know you're not coming back again. So I think that's important to explain. I think that's more of a way that person probably wants that answered. Like, how do you know that? Like not how do you know that, but like, so then where do you go if you make that decision you're not coming back? And do you get to make that decision at any point, or is it only when you've elevated to a certain spiritual level as a human in this world?
Yeah, that comes from how you know yourself to be, whether you're going to be more and more compiling yourself, your thoughts, your intentions, your feelings to become this, become that, to gather more, to come into this form, to come into that form, or do you feel, or do you intend that you have inhabited enough forms, that you are something different and other than form? When
So
you
you'll
come
get to
that,
decide for yourself.
yes.
You get to decide for yourself. So he was asking, like they were saying, asking about an afterlife. We did go over like afterlife. earlier. But I think he meant more of like an end goal type. If you don't want to come back in human form, though, can you exist still as energy somewhere else?
Yes, you can. But then again, Don, this is not wishful thinking. You have to remember this.
Yeah.
Like you can say, no, I don't want this anymore. You can't say that. It's again a knowing that you have gone through the whole process, that you are going to come out, so to speak. You know, it is not a knowing. You can't say, my God, I suffered enough. I don't want to live on this planet anymore. You know, it's not that. You know, it's not that. You can't, it's not just wishful thinking. It is something very, very deep, that you know that this life, this is the meaning of life, this is the meaning of life forms. Life and life forms are two different things, you know.
I'm from New York. I always have a RBF. It's called like a resting bitch face. It's just a natural thing. I don't sit here like this. That just would not be me. Everybody knows that. If you even look at pictures of me, I'm always like it's just who I am. I feel so cheesy if I'm sitting here like this. Like I just get when I'm laughing, I am, but not if I'm just sitting here asking serious questions. I think that's so funny though. So everybody has spiritual questions, kind of. That's actually pretty cool.
Yeah, that's something
Does
very
anybody have any
interesting. Yeah.
questions about their life though, like financial or personal or like love?
One more question I had to, I think we missed from Derek, which was actually a follow-up question from for Kyle. Derek, if you keep listen to this very carefully. We are told always to focus on the goal. That's what we are already told, always told. When you keep focusing on the goal, in effect, what are you doing? You are limiting yourself. You are creating and you are dwelling in neediness. You don't focus on a goal. That is the hard way of doing things. The good way is you have a goal, and then you imagine through imagination or through whatever you inhabit, you dwell in the feeling of having achieved that goal.
Yeah.
You can have 10 goals in life or one goal. Once I fulfill this goal, how will I feel? If you dwell in that feeling, that goal will come to you automatically. You don't have to make so much effort. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to fight. You don't have to get angry with people. You don't have to lie. You don't have to live out of deception or deceit. You know, you can live life more smoothly because the universe, everything will conform to your feeling. But if you're going to focus on the goal only, it's going to be attention, attention, at tension, not intention. Two different energies, right? Attention is always you're going out, you're stressing, there's outward tension, you're draining of your energy. But when you say intention, everything is inside.
I love that.
The tension is inside. It's the inside that moves the outside.
Yes.
In a wheel, right? It is the inside that moves the outside. In a fan, it's the inside. You don't turn the wings of the wings of the fan to move the inside, right? The inside moves the wings.
The blades, yeah.
The blades, yeah. The blade. You don't move the blades to rotate the center. You rotate the center that's more efficient, right? So always be with the intention of success, the intention of having achieved that goal. So that intention you convert it into a feeling and dwell in that feeling, and that feeling brings you confidence, not positive thinking. Positive thinking is in resistance to negative thinking. Remember this, very spiritual statement. Positive thinking is always in resistance to negative thinking. But confidence is when you have already achieved it. in the belief, in the faith that you are already it. You are already that. So it's a feeling of fulfillment. That is what confidence is. That's why the Bible always says, all things are possible to God. And then it says, all things are possible to him who believes. So
Yes.
belief and God are very much similar, right?
There's
it's like,
nothing that's impossible. I literally just made a
you know,
video about this. You don't even know that, but
yeah.
I did.
So you have to believe it.
Yeah.
It is not positive thinking. It is an embodiment of that feeling. You have to carry that feeling. I saw Levi saying, feeling is the secret. You know, it's from one of his favorite authors and teachers, Neville Goddard. I think Levi is like a diehard fan of it, right? So always remember that intention and attention. We sometimes pay so much attention to the outside that we are empty inside.
Yeah.
And that
Like
emptiness,
material things. If somebody's always worried about material
yeah,
things,
material things.
they're taking away from
Yeah,
the inside.
so even material things manifested from the inside.
Yeah.
You know, now you want a diamond to make you happy, but what if something else also can make you happy first? And if nothing can make you happy, you will never get a diamond, because first you must know what happiness is.
Yes. So all
It's a
right,
paradox.
this is good.
It's a paradox. You might think a diamond will make you happy, but if you don't know what happiness is, you can never get even a quartz. Forget a diamond.
It's clear. I love when you say things and it like brings clarity to the way I feel and what I say. Like I made a video and I was talking about I was always so needy for love my whole life. Like I wanted to feel love from my parents. I wanted to feel like people at school liked me. Like you always want that validation of love. But never once until like the last 3-year cycle of my life did I start feeding it to myself. I never did. So I was never going to get the right kind of love because I wasn't fulfilling myself with love, right?
Yeah.
You'll never get that special, like that, whatever, like that true love that everybody talks about unless you love yourself first. Like truly, you have to be fulfilled from within.
You see, Don, yeah, that's right. Now another result, what I can show you is for you. Now here you are with a group of people who are more or less business people who are with you. They are here to make money. But you're talking about something totally different.
Yeah.
That's because you embody that. And these people also have something opening up in them, and you have connected, you have touched that place, or that place of theirs have been touched. You know, how can this happen? How can this meeting take place? How can there be so many people participating live on this? They are all here to make money, right? They are all here to make a quick buck, so to speak. Right?
But something so different happened. Yeah, like it was like
Yeah, but then how did this community change? It's because you embodied this feeling of being fulfilled, the feeling of being happy. You have embodied that, and that has reverberated in your audience.
and attract the same type of people that already were that.
That's
because a lot
right.
of them were already that, like
Yeah.
on their own.
No, that also shows that everybody has this, but
Yeah.
it needs to be opened and awakened.
Yeah.
So it has happened, you know. So it's happening. Like I said, life is dynamic. You can't say it is this or that. It's always moving. It's always changing. It's always moving. So that's the strange thing in a place like this. This is not a spiritual group of people that you have gathered here. You know,
But they are.
Yeah. But their spiritual dimension has been touched, and now we are teaching them how to use their spiritual dimension to better their physical life, to better their material life.
I wish Ben was here.
that is more effective, because that is with a good foundation. You can't build a house on sand. You have to build
Yeah.
a house, you have to put your foundation on rock. Now that's what we are doing here,
So
rather than breaking
AMC
out.
Bets, are you here? I'm sorry to interrupt because this is like a really important thing to me. Because even I was trying to figure this out and I almost couldn't figure it out. There's whether he's here or not. So AMC Bets, he was trading before he came into the business, and he kept losing money, which I can't understand because I'm telling you, day one he came in, I call him Michael Jordan. He's out trading me. He's like an MVP. He's like, oh, I'm like, you're fired. What do you mean? Like, I don't believe him. I'm like, you've been doing this for years. I literally do not believe you. How could you have lost for so many months? And then you just come in here and one day, he only had one day where he lost money since a month now. I mean, literally. Why? Like, what changes that? So that's what I don't understand.
No, it's obviously it's a shift in his inner consciousness. It's a shift in his inner energy, obviously. Then if you look at the bigger scale of things at the macro level, it can also mean that he had intentions of making money before, and
Yeah.
now the right environment has happened for him to grow that seed. You can have the best plant, you can have the best sapling, you can have the best seed, but you can't plant it in the wrong season. You can't plant the best tree in winter. You got to wait till the right season comes, maybe spring or summer,
So
before you
like the
plant
group
that
of
seed.
people that were formed that
Yeah,
all
it's the environment, it's the synchronicity of so many other things. So in other words, his intentions are being conformed to now by the universe, and the universe is now giving him back what he had intended. Earlier he was in the wrong environment, and also he was embodying something different.
yeah.
So
It's crazy.
there are a lot of factors that affect this, but mainly it is his inner shift, which happens at the right season also. So that means the right environment. Now, certain environments people vibrate better, people feel more at home, people feel more comfortable, more calm.
That's amazing. Because I mean, it
Yeah.
literally
So
was the first day. It was that's what he was saying, but I didn't believe him. I really don't.
yeah.
I think it's crazy. So his environment shifted his mindset. It goes back to surrounding yourself with the right people to allow you to flourish.
Yeah. So that's what his surrounding is. And now he has come here, and you all feel good with him. He feels good with you all. But then again, people will also come who are in conflict with the surrounding, and they also come for a reason. They also come to show you all things that you didn't see before, and he also has come to experience things which he hadn't experienced before. So in the bigger picture, everything happens at the right time. But then again, you can change it. If you don't like it, you can change it.
But is that like what divine timing is? Like when things happen at the right time in your life, you meet a specific person or you come into this specific scenario.
Right time, not in relation to your own choice. Right time, but in relation to the meaning and the intention you gave and what others have given to this particular incident. That's how it has to be taken. Now we say, I came at the right time, but then it can come in the wrong time also, but it is not right or wrong. It came at the right time of that particular energy movement, because that was the right environment for it to manifest, and you happen to be there because you also had once, which you can't remember, compiled an intention to experience this moment.
In this lifetime.
Yeah, in this lifetime.
I love that. I love the thought of that. But it's such a catch-22 to be like, with law of assumption, like we make our own way. But at the same time, it's predestined. At the same time, it's a very hard concept, but it's both.
Predestined also is a choice you made
That's true. Yeah.
many years ago. So it is still
You have to realize
that is what you
you
manifested.
have to have that belief that you live. Like so many people just believe you have one life. Why, if this world is so like, how could you only have
No,
one life?
don't. There's only one life, but there are many life forms. There are many forms that life takes.
Okay,
So,
got it. That's a better way.
yeah, you are put it that way. There's only one life, but the life takes millions of forms to express itself. As a tree, as a fish, as a bird, as an animal, even that is a form that life takes.
Can you tell what spirit animals people have? Is there like do you have your own spirit animal? Because I'm suddenly attracting all these animals. I really want to know the answer to this question. Like there was a freaking bear in my backyard.
No. So even an animal is an expression of life, not your life or my life. Life, right?
But just certain
Life.
animals mean certain things. If there's like a certain animal that keeps popping itself up.
So in a certain part of your eternal journey, you also, not you, but this so-called soul or this thing that is making a journey has also gone through animal experiences and also has associated animals, and you have already made bonds with these animals. So sometimes when animals can't come to you in form, they come to you in spirit. There are humans that can't come to you in form, they come to you in spirit. There are bad people, there are good people. There are animals, there are plants that come to you and they become herbal doctors. They discover their own herbal medicine. There are people who have been intending or even embodying plant forms. This is very difficult for someone to understand. This is quite deep, right? And that's how they discover something about plants, a medicine, a cure for human ailments.
Because why? How do they do it?
So
because they
they
already
have,
were a plant. Is that what you're saying? Like they?
yeah, they have that energy, that that life had embodied a form of a plant.
We can become plant. I knew we could be animals, but we literally can be plants. Like I'm not good.
Now we can't, because now we have become human. We can't. We will not go back to plants.
Oh, you can't. Okay.
Now we can't, but we can come from there.
So if you were an animal in a past life,
we are talking of billions of years, not millions, not hundreds or thousands, right? And billions of years ago, the human form did not exist, but life existed.
But energy did.
Energy did.
We're energy.
So energy has embodied.
Were we ever dinosaurs?
Rocks, yeah, dinosaurs, trees.
What kind of dinosaur was I? Do you know? I never asked these questions, but I wonder. I wonder. That's crazy.
And also you want to know whether you were fossilized, like something comes and falls on you, and you're like gone. Maybe somewhere in Argentina, your fossil must be there.
Can you know, like when you're talking to somebody, like their energy of what they might, or somebody who they may have been in a past life, like let's say like a Cleopatra or like somebody, like can you tell if that energy is that same energy?
But I can tell. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, like can you tell if it, like let's say, Elvis died, right? Let's say Elvis died and he came back into a form and he was born and he's like 10 years old now and he's a little boy, whatever. Would you be able to feel that energy and know, hey, that was Elvis in a past life, or no?
Well, to my experience, it has not happened to me, but it doesn't mean that I can't. Well, like I told you, I don't know how I say these things. Like even
Yeah.
my psychic abilities, I say things like they're so far crazy. Like even I ask myself, how did you say that?
Yeah.
You know.
Trust me, I know. No.
So, so I haven't encountered that yet. I haven't experienced that yet. But it doesn't mean that it will not happen, because those are things that happen, and I should be able to,
I'm so
see.
like dying. Like it's so interesting that I thought so many people are just gonna be here like asking personal questions, and they're so interested in like the universe and the spirituality part of it. I love it. Big Bang, just a theory. You were talking about something with me the other day. I like that Kim brought that up. The Big Bang, like, is that real? Like, what is the beginning?
Okay, the so-called Big Bang is the beginning of form.
Mm-hmm.
That's when form started
Any
happening.
energy, right?
No,
Or form as in like,
no forms, like, whether it's stone is a form, a
mm-hmm.
rock is a form,
Yeah.
Then if you take an atom, few atoms get together and it's a form, right? So when you say energy, Dawn, energy has no form, it is formless,
It's just a habit. I'm always touching my hair. I've
right?
always, mm-hmm.
So it's the Big Bang was the beginning of form. That's when form started happening in this universe, and it started taking various forms. But energy predated that. Now, our mind, which is also form, our thoughts, which are also form, cannot understand this in a real way, because we are used to relating to everything in form. Yeah, form as we know it, But there is an existence of formlessness. So before the Big Bang, it was only. This is something I have realized. I have come to a realization. I'm so. It's the truth where I am concerned. Although I have not seen this anywhere else. That meaning, intentions, the consciousness predated the Big Bang. The Big Bang was an explosion of all these intentions to become form, to express itself. It had no way of expressing itself. So it exploded as something, and then it started to take form, material form. And then the humans came. So okay, excuse me. So these intentions, the consciousness was trying to express itself. So it created so many forms to express itself. Trial and error, trial and error. It created water, it created trees, it created rock. Everything is an expression, but it's very limited. Then it created animals, various kinds of animals, the dinosaurs, the cockroaches, the serpents, then elephants,
Love elephant.
buffalo, all that. And it started creating more and more. If you notice, every animal has its own expression, not only in form, but the way it acts out. Every animal behaves in a different way, right? Every
Mm-hmm.
animal, they have their peculiar way of doing things, right? So that shows that this intention, this energy, this life, tried to make a form to express itself more and more. And ultimately, it expressed itself as a human. Now, the human being is the most versatile form that intention or meaning has created to express itself.
Will we do anything? So it's kind of like people refer to like the ape evolution, right? Like apes turning into humans, that type of a thing. Will humans ever evolve into something else, or is humans the...
No, I don't accept the evolution story because it's only
I
a
know, I just
theory.
mean like
Yeah.
human form.
Yeah. So we did not evolve, so to speak, the way we are taught. We lost the tail. Then
Yeah.
where are the people who are with half tail? You know, if we came from the chimpanzees,
I don't
right?
believe it.
Now, where are the animals who are between the chimpanzee and the human? There must be some left, right? In between,
Yeah.
when this evolution took place, there must be at least 1,000, 2,000 left who are still evolving. It never happened that way. It just came. It's what life created to express itself. So the humans are the latest expression of life.
But will there ever be something more than human?
We will we will evolve as humans because there's no need for something else to come out. Because if you notice, humans have become co-creators. You know, through our expression, through our thoughts, through our emotions, we are creating our own worlds. That is exactly what consciousness wants. Consciousness wants to limitlessly create things, limitlessly to create forms. You know, so now it's using the human form to create buildings, to create architecture, to create cars, to create fun, to create. You know, we have our primordial feelings of, let's say, shame, guilt, happiness, pride, blah 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 blah, happiness. You know, all these things. Now we are using different forms to fulfill them. Now, 1,000 years ago, there were only so many ways of making ourselves happy. Now we have so many things more to make ourselves happy. You know, 1,000 years ago, we had only so many ways of killing our enemy. Now we have 1,000 ways more to kill our enemy.
I think
Do you
we're
get it?
Yeah.
You know, so this human body is the ideal tool for consciousness to express itself. So it doesn't need to evolve anymore. But as a human being, we will evolve. We don't need to evolve into some other species.
I got it.
The human species will go into specialization, like we are going in for creating crazy things. You know, now we are creating artificial intelligence.
Derek's question.
Yeah,
What is
what
your
is
feeling on humans now experimenting with creating life, cloning, AI forms, like replicating, playing God?
Yeah, Derek, we are not creating life. Life can't be created or destroyed. Life is forever. We are creating life forms. AI is another form of that.
That's confusing.
AI is a creation of man. That means intelligence is using man to replicate itself. So what we can do is we can become purer, purer. That means lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, where we replicate consciousness itself.
So it's a good
Like,
thing. Like when people clone, they can clone like a pet. Like my pet
yeah,
had
but
passed away and people paid
cloning,
$50,000.
remember, cloning is nothing wrong. It's only a physical thing. You know, you can't clone a personality. You can't clone
You can't clone a
another.
soul. Like the energy that's inside of you can't be cloned.
Yeah, because energy is forever. You can't even clone two people thinking alike. You can't. But you can clone forms. Idea, just like you, I can clone another person. That is no big deal.
Is Biden clones? I feel like he's not real. I know that's stupid. Maybe you don't want to answer, but I don't care. Like we could. By the way, guys, I call this my church because to me, I used to just sit with him, and this would be me. I'm so curious. I would ask 1,000 questions, and I wanted all the answers. So I wanted to create what I consider church for me, like him just teaching, like because he's so amazing. I just want everybody to know, like to know about these things and the way that things work. So for me, this is church. Just so everybody
Yeah.
knows. Not
Yeah,
here,
Kim,
but
you are right. Cloning is not duplication. It's two different things. Cloning is not, I just took Dawn for an example, just to as illustration here. But cloning is not duplication. Cloning is anyway a creation of another form.
now, if they clone somebody, can a soul decide to enter that clone, or is it completely like man-made and there's no real energy in there? Like soul energy like I have in me.
No, there cannot exist anything without life. Right? So even if you clone a person, the consciousness that is in that person cannot be cloned. It comes from life itself. So from life, another piece breaks and gets into this clone.
So that person that's cloned is not a real
human consciousness. You see, we are so engrossed in forms, in creating form. We are only going after creating form.
Here, that person sticking to the fire has a question. So forgiveness starts with me, right? For example, trauma I had gotten from a family member, whether or not if it was my fault, or there is no need to confront the trauma, or should I confront it? That's a good question. To apologize for whatever it was that they're trying to get forgiveness
that you have not addressed, not justified, but if there's something that you have not addressed, it's worthwhile going there, reconciling, talking about it, understanding it, right? You can do that. That is okay. But then once it is done, it has to be done. Not in way of being happy after the judgment. You can't say, okay, now we reconciled. I understand you. You are wrong. I am right. Now he accepted that he's wrong. So now I'm happy. It's not going down that road. Even if that person doesn't accept that it was wrong, you got to accept the fact that this situation hurt you, right? Or your reaction to that situation was hurt because you took it personally as a separate entity. At the deepest level, that's what happened. You didn't like it, right? That person did something wrong to you. But if reconciliation means you will not move until that person apologizes and repents, then we are talking about something else. It's much better to take the incident as something what happened and remove the story from what happened. You see, when things happen in life, always things happen, but we put a story into that. The way you look at it, the way you interpret it, the way you repeat it. The same thing can happen and 10 people can have 10 different stories about the same thing.
Yeah.
Now, for example, I can witness a car coming and knocking down a man on the road. Now, what happened? A car came at probably about 50 miles per hour and a man was crossing the road. He got knocked down. Now, we put it into a story and say, oh my God, that crazy man, he was drunk and he had no feelings. He came and hit this poor man. And this man was, he was like this. He had so many problems. And we create a story out of that. But if we keep it to the bare minimum of what happened, this trauma that you call that came from your family can be looked at from the bare level. Then it's easier for you to put it behind. But if you take the story and move forward, it will never go out because your mind will be always arguing with the story and carrying the story, giving life to the story, giving energy to the story, and taking it forward.
Neuro-linguistic I don't even know what that is. It's for trauma healing. I went inside and healed my own trauma. So I don't know like any sort of therapy things or programming type things. I'm always interested in them because I've never used those routes. I don't know what those are.
Yeah, neuro-linguistic programming is done. Now, when you have trauma, that means your mind is working in a certain pattern. The the neuro language in your brain is working in a certain pattern. So this is a technique to change that pattern. That means there's water
Oh,
flowing,
hypnosis. Hypnosis. I know what that is.
right? No, no, hypnosis and neuro-linguistic programming are two different things. Say there's water flowing down, okay? Now you cut a certain drain to drain the water in a certain pattern. I cut a certain other pattern to drain the water.
I have to get like a soda or something because I forgot to eat for the last like 14 hours and I feel like my blood sugar getting low. Keep talking. I'm fine. I will just be right back. So, you can keep explaining.
Yeah, that's right. So, Kim, like you say, NLP will reshape the patterns. But the thing is this, the flow is still happening. You know, that energy flow is still happening. The memories are still there. It is only the reaction that you're changing. Like I told you, there's water flowing. I will cut a drain in a certain pattern to remove the water. You will cut a certain pattern to remove the water or to drain the water. So there can be 101 patterns to drain the water. But if the water is still flowing, there's no point. I mean, whatever pattern you cut, the water is still flowing. So it is a very superficial way of solving the problem. You've got to stop the flow of water first. You know? So, yeah. So as a technique of healing from trauma, yes, there are so many ways. But what I'm saying is we've got to remove the trauma and remove that label as a trauma.
Mm.
You know?
I feel like we all have trauma pretty much. Like everybody, you have to heal. I don't know, what would you call it if you don't call it trauma? Because I always like refer to like childhood trauma.
Trauma is an incident. It's very basic. It's an incident which you took it in a bad way that hurts you. Your reaction to that incident was hurtful. It was so we call it traumatic. And then what you do is you reinforce that I'm in trauma, and you becomes more and more reinforced. You know, and you become a victim of that. You make yourself a victim. You know, there are people who have this victim mentality. They love it. They thrive on that. I've been unfairly treated all my life. My parents have done this to me. My siblings did this to me. I had the toughest childhood, you know, and they dwell on that.
Yep.
Which is very unhealthy, you know.
They're laughing at me because it's like a Twix and a Coke. Like, meanwhile, I was talking about going on a cleanse. Kim's on a cleanse. She does cleanses with no water either. No food and no water. I said, I can't survive without water. I just can't. Does that give you more clarity? Because like my messages come in messed up sometimes. So does cleansing give you more clarity in your gifts?
Yeah, because it opens up your it clears it clears your negativity. You know, it clears your negativity. So in that sense, yes, cleansing is good. So now what Kim is talking is techniques that we have developed to overcome these things. Now, like for example, we have issues in life. Now we have developed so many techniques to overcome that. But then if we don't understand the core issue, we can fall into that situation again. Something again very small, we can get traumatized by that. You know, there are people who are very dramatic. You know, they react in disproportionate ways to things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they love it because without that they feel they are nothing. When they don't feel that energy, they think they don't exist. So for them to feel that they are existing, they want it, whether it be trauma, whether it be being
it makes you feel alive.
Yeah, you know. That's what happens. Even to movie stars, that's what happens. When they are popular, they are very happy. But then if something goes wrong, they miss one or two movie offers, they go into depression because they were surviving on their popularity, you know, all that. So they were deriving their sense of self from external sources. So when people don't have that, they will even get traumatized for minor things, because then they have all the attention of the people. They feel energy in them, because even trauma, although it's negative, it's a very dense and a powerful energy.
I'm laughing because Kim's like, Derek's like, hopefully not longer than 24 hours. And Kim was talking about like how she's done it for like 5 days before. I'm like, how are you living? Are you human? I'm convinced like maybe she's not. She's like my soul sister. Except on your cleansing, doing Pilates. I work out. I just needed sugar. Somebody ask a freaking personal question. I'm dying for him to do some sort of freaking reading. Don't make me do it because I've already done it a million times. And by the way, he's the only like psychic that you would die laughing. Like I'll ask him a question sometimes and he tells me no. He won't tell me the answer. I said, what the hell? Like, how can I ask you a question and you're telling me no? It's like I always have to learn my lesson the hard way. So if you don't, be happy. Okay? Because he makes me learn my lessons the hard way a lot of the times. I ask him a question on one topic, but he'll give me all advice on every other topic that he knows I really need to fix first. He's not going to talk to me about the subject I want to talk about. He does it all the time. Oh my God, AMC gang, were you missing? I had a whole conversation about you. He's the one that I told you was losing money all the time.
Yes. Oh, yeah, we spoke a lot about him. Yeah.
Yeah. So that energy that just came in right there.
Yeah.
It's freaking amazing. Like, AMC gang, you need to ask something, or I'm just gonna. Oh, you were.
He was listening. Okay. Very good.
Or about to say. There you go. Somebody has something. Mom passed away 3 years ago. It's been sad every day since. Why hasn't she come to me in my sleep?
Okay. Yeah. Now, a person coming back to you in your sleep, there are two reasons. One is it's an extension of your thoughts. When you sleep, when you see things, firstly, it's an extension of your own thoughts. What you go through during the day, what predominantly you are associated with in your mind, right? So it's an extension of your thoughts. So it is good that you are not experiencing that. That means you have freed yourself, you have freed her from your reality on earth, which is a very healthy thing.
That's amazing.
So what I'm saying is you should not, people sometimes expect it to happen, but it doesn't mean much. Secondly, if this departed soul is still attached to earth, attached on earth, then that free soul cannot progress in its destined path. When we leave this form, when we leave this earth, we got to move on in our destiny. If you believe that you are going to meet Christ, or if you believe you are going to meet someone else once you have left this form, it's okay. But if you are attached to this form, to this earth, to your family, to your children, it's a hindrance for that freedom, for that liberty, for you to move on, for that soul to move on, right? So in that sense also, it's a good thing that this departed soul is now on its rightful eternal journey. So the way you have your belief, you can believe it that way. Either you're going to meet her, you're going to join her in eternity, or she'll wait for you in eternity. But the good thing is that the soul is free now. Because for a dead soul, a soul that has passed earth, its earthly life, for it to get stuck to earth, it's a damn sin. It's a very difficult situation for that soul. Because the soul freed itself from this earth because it needs to move on. And for whatever reason, due to the pull of their children or their family, or because they are still attached to the family and they can't move, it's a terrible situation. You're limited. Being a spirit, you can't move. You're stuck. Can you imagine that? Right? Imagine breaking a leg and you can't move, it's okay. Right? You're in chains, you can't move, it's okay. But here you have left this body
Um,
on earth and you can't move. It's terrible, right? So why
no,
you are not
I'm
having
reading what you wrote.
this dream is that one is that you have released her from your inner consciousness, and she has released herself from this earth consciousness and is moving on in her eternal journey, which is a very good thing. I hope I give you an answer that you
Yeah.
understand and you are happy with. Yeah.
He says he has a tear running down his face. He said, "Thank you." That's amazing. Somebody else was saying, my best friend started coming back to me about 3 years after passing, first with other entities and was not speaking, later by himself and more interaction, including speaking. So that's Detective Popcorn, right? I could feel his energy. He's evolved spiritually.
Yeah.
When we evolve spiritually, we can, in a way, we can connect with our ancestors that have passed and stuff, right? Because I can lately do that. And that's different, I think, than as a carnal mind saying somebody's coming to me in my dreams, right?
So this is happening. You want to know why it is happening, or you want to understand what the phenomena is? Is that what it wants, Don?
He'll have to answer that
Hmm?
about
Yeah.
his friend. Like what I was trying to say, like as you become more inclined to your gifts, you can connect with energy that has passed, correct? Because
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
feel,
Yeah.
yes.
So this friend also now it's again like that. Now this is definitely not that you are attracted to him, but he has got attracted to you, he or she,
Mm.
and and he is again looking at you. So it's another. He's again stuck. He's again limited. He's limiting himself, not moving forward.
He's saying, what are the other entities? You might have to explain.
Yeah. Now again, other entities can be sometimes not other entities. It could be a dispersion of that energy of your friend itself, because it's a spirit. You know, he comes to you in spirit. He interferes into your mind in spirit, right? It's not a physical form, it's a spiritual form. So spirit can be like, very it's formless. So you can see things in vague ways, not in specific ways with a border, like you see a normal form. So you can notice that as entities. Those entities also can be entities that he has gathered when he's in spirit form after leaving this earth. But mostly in your case, what I see is it is a dispersion of his own energy. It is not separate entities.
And that's pretty
Then
cool.
later on, you said the entities went. It's because then he has solidified more towards his energy and become more one with it.
I knew you were gifted, or that you're aware of your gifts. He actually came into my program later than other people, and
Uh-huh.
I energetically knew it was him. And we've only
Oh.
met online through Twitter. And he was like, damn, I thought I could get away with one day. I was like, nope. I knew it was him. By the end of the day, I was like, are you Detective Popcorn from Twitter? He was like, you gotta be shitting me. And even
Very
I
good.
was a
You
little
see?
like, damn, like I'm getting good. Like, how the hell did I know that? It was so funny. Justin said, I like gifts. I mean, Justin's more in the beginning stages. It's so funny because now the people that are in there whoever wasn't seeing signs and synchronicities before, like Levi, I call him Levi's genes, suddenly are noticing the numbers and synchronicities and things that they weren't seeing before. Is that like the beginning? That's like, I consider that like the beginning stages of where like your awakening like starts kind of, and then you will start getting more and more the more open you are to receiving.
Yeah, that is one way of awakening happening to people. Seeing numbers, seeing synchronicities. Now, for example, it has never happened to me.
What?
Yeah, the synchronicity, seeing numbers.
Oh
Never.
my God. So you don't even know what I'm talking about. It's
No, but I
haunting my
know
life.
because I have read about it, right?
It's so strong. I'm not joking. It gets to the point that it's like, stop. It's 24 hours a day.
Yeah, So this is one part of how your intentions are getting fulfilled. Now, like I told you, now I have psychic powers. Now, some people strive hard to develop psychic powers.
Yeah, not me.
Right? Some people, it comes naturally. So it's a different way of doing it. Now, the synchronicity it's a different way because also now remember, you are a person who interact with people in a different way in life with regards to commerce, with regards to business, with regards to a lot of practical things in life. So this is the form that is more suitable for you, for your purpose.
Yeah. Well, it's just like one little sign. It's like I get all kinds of things.
Yeah. So you'll be in this realm of science. That will be your mode of communication with intelligence. That's how the universal intelligence will communicate with you.
Yeah. Like I always say, oh, the universe is petty. Like they'll send me petty signs too. Like how me and you like it's so funny. Like I'm like, yeah, you're laughing at me. Like, and it's true. Justin's talking about these birthdays. So 3 of them, Kim, Levi Jeans, and Justin, all have the same exact birthday. It's very strange because our group is very small right now. For them 3 to all have the same exact birthday and they all realized it was like, whoa, what the heck? Like, to me, that's just like a synchronicity or a sign like of the universe showing that like you're in the right, like at that predestined where you chose before you were born type thing. For me, I call it a confirmation and I get goosebumps. Is that what it is? Because I know we're different. Like you're psychic in a different way, and I don't know what I am, but
Yeah.
It's a confirmation.
Now this is a sign that gives a reassurance that you're in the right place.
Yep.
It is a sign of being comforted.
Yeah, it's very rare.
Yeah. So these are not common occurrences. These are there's again I say there's meaning behind this. Where sometimes
no such thing as coincidence. You taught me that.
No
such thing as a coincidence.
Yeah. Now things can happen to the 3 of them, which seemingly will make them to maybe have a misunderstanding or to go apart. But then this particular sign will tell you, no, we have to go through this together. We have to overcome this. So it is something more than the normal.
He always makes me want to cry. I love him. He always says that and always makes me want to cry, but
yeah.
Because he just trusted me blindly, like I said, and he went from losing to just being like a fucking star. I can't even explain it. Like,
it's again a matter of, if you talk in common terms, stimuli and response. So he had a frequency which a lot of people uh, didn't touch, or he didn't find a corresponding frequency. So if I put it that way, so when he meets you or sees you or comes to you, you're synchronized and you feel at home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's how I can explain this, you know. And then you build from there, not from the outer. You
Yeah.
think you got attracted to Dawn for her looks, or
No, he said energy. He
yeah,
felt
it's
my
the
energy.
energy. It's the energy. What I'm saying is people can understand it that way also, but it is
Yeah.
the energy. So now you feel home. You feel at home. You know.
I call it like a soul tribe. That's the only thing the only words for me to use, because it's different than family. It's just different. Like when you feel like destined people, like
Yeah, very much
almost like
so.
angels.
And also, Don, when things like this happen, try not to name it,
I don't.
because we always fall into this trap as humans. What I always say is the description. We try to describe everything. We try to explain things, but by doing that, you kill that.
Then we limit it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you limit that. So the description is not the described. Now I
Yeah.
have something here and I try to describe it and I kill it, I limit it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather make you experience it your own way rather than describing
I
it.
know you always
So
say that to me.
yeah, so AMC has this towards you, you have it towards him, and you all have synchronized. Leave it like that.
Yeah. I love it.
Don't put it into that theory, that book, this teacher has told about something like this. Don't. This is your
Mike
own
too.
thing.
All of
This is your
them.
special.
Damn it.
This is your special thing. Keep it holy. Don't contaminate it. You know, because you might be having something totally different from what others have tried to explain.
Damn it.
Oh, Dawn has got emotional again.
That always happens.
Yeah.
I just love them so much. Like, I appreciate all of them so much. That's all. They make me happy. I just never felt so where I could be myself. I'm not judged. I talk about my craziness and laugh at myself. And I talk about the stupid signs and synchronicities. And I talk about all this stuff. And nobody once goes, Dawn, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, they just sit there like, you're crazy. And yeah, and I get it. And they go along with it like it's normal. Like, and it's just like, I don't know. I just never felt like that in my entire life. I've never felt like that before, other than like with you.
Yeah. Now, see, if you take Kim, for example. Now, Kim has a very strong academic understanding also of this subject that we are talking about. So he has that backing. He has done a lot of research. He has done a lot of study. He has understood things.
Kim is a girl, just so you know.
Okay, Kim. Sorry. So she has
really beautiful hair, just so you know.
Oh, lovely. So she has understood. She has understood that in that aspect also. So that helps her to talk to another audience altogether, because people who are conditioned in that way. So that's her forte. You see, it's the same life, it's the same energy taking a different form. Now I am embodying a different form. It's almost like formless, right? Because I don't have any system, I don't have any method, I don't have any explanations to things and saying this is the way or whatever. But then there are ways like what she does, which is easy to explain to a person who only thinks logically. So in that respect, Kim has a different gift to explain these phenomena.
I always tell Kim I want her to share her story.
But she also has some humor, no?
I don't know. she's human. I could tell when his eyes wander, he's reading you. I always say his face, you'll notice. When he was in church, I'm like, what are you thinking about? What do you see in me? I know you just saw something. Then he'll be like, no, Dawn, I didn't. I'm like, yes, you did. You just saw something you don't want to tell me. And I can tell. Like, goes into like a daze. No, because I do it now. And Derek catches me doing it. And I'm like, damn it. Yes, when you're not judged, that feeling unlocks something in you. It just becomes like that child, like I put it like Neverland, like Peter Pan and the Lost Boys. Like that's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
Like fairies and everything exists there. Nobody's gonna tell me there's no such thing as a damn unicorn. I don't care, because there is. A unicorn's gonna ring my doorbell.
And also then you feel free, you don't feel limited.
Yeah.
And then you just express yourself. That's the beauty. Dawn and Dawn's friends, life always wants to express itself. That's the nature of life. Now I'll tell you in a different way. Right? The sun that shines in the sky, it expresses itself through every form. Through the trees, you see?
Yeah.
So that's the way the sun expresses itself. Actually, all living matter, living forms on earth is powered by the sun. So the sun gives it the movement, the energy to move, the energy to sustain that form. Right? So there is the sun energy dwells in all of these things. So in other words, we can say that the sun is expressing itself through form. So, but we see the sun, only the sun we see as a separate entity. No, it is expressing itself not only as the sun in the sky, this bright thing, but it expresses itself in form, in various unlimited form. And now humans have become co-creators of form. And now we are creating different form. And we call it artificial, but it is not artificial actually, because it's a natural thing. Right?
I love that. And you see what Kim said?
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, wonderful. That's great. Thank you. That's nice to hear.
I don't know, Kim, if you have like a spiritual advisor. Like for me, like, because I don't know how to say it. I don't want to say gifted. It's just, if I went and sat with a psychiatrist on a weekly basis, they would put me in a padded cell. Like I would be in a padded cell. Like, lady, you're crazy. What do you mean numbers and synchronicities? Like, what are you talking about? A bunch of people in your business that all see that. Like, they would put me away. But when you're a spiritual person, for me, he is my therapist. Like, I get guidance and I get that recharge, so to say. Even if I don't have to ask certain questions, I just get that recharge I feel like I need. And then the next day, it's like, all right, I'm all good again. Like, everybody needs something different, and different things apply to different people. But for me, that's what he is. Besides, like, can just do personal readings and tell me about my future and all that stuff. Like, it's like my plug-in.
No. For Kim, now this situation she is dwelling in is very nice, because now she can be aware of only this vibration. Vibration energy is not form. It's primordial to form. So this is a good state for her to dwell, because this will recharge herself. Because now she's dwelling in that energy of her entire body, the face vibrating. You can feel a tingling feeling, right, Kim? You can feel the tingle in your lips, in your cheeks, in your hands, in your legs, in your tummy, So that is actually a transition between form and formlessness.
Mm-hmm.
So when you dwell there also, you get healed of a lot of sicknesses. you become healthier. Even things like cancers get cured, and it's a beautiful feeling. Now you must try to practice, Kim, to live your normal life also in this way. While maintaining this vibration, you interact with the outer world. You try to watch a movie, especially news. You know, try to watch news embodying this energy. It's very difficult because the news absorbs your energy, absorbs your attention, and scares you and frightens you and says the world is miserable. But if you can embody this, that means you are really rooted in being, not in form. So that's a beautiful way to live life, not only as a practice when you are alone, but you can take it out to the world. And when you take it out of the world, it will touch the next person also. It will touch the person who's with you. And also remember, it travels electronically as well. You can walk into a room and change the energy there. Then also there are people who are very bad energies. They can get reactive to you as well. They can come to sometimes even assault you for no reason. They come to fight with you for no reason. That also can happen. But the important thing is that you embody, because that is just prior to form. What you're dwelling in is your awareness is almost formless now. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a healing process. It heals you. It heals others also because it reverberates.
I'm just taking it moment.
Yeah, and
and that's something he does also. Like, if you're a spiritual person, like, I don't even know if it's called spiritual, whatever it is, you are very aware of your own energy, I guess I would just say. Speaking with you helps sometimes to get over a blockage or a hurdle, to have that like death and rebirth, like transform again, like new timelines, so to say, even though that might, I know she knows probably what I'm talking about, but a lot of people are probably like, timelines, like, what the fuck are you saying?
yeah,
But yeah, you shift timelines, like for me, he's needed. Like, I just couldn't do it. And it's so funny because they know me with the number 11. It's everywhere for me. The number 11 was a big, November last year was just a big thing for me, 11-1. And I also met him in November. It's crazy. That's when I first came into contact with you online. That was just not random at all. And not one damn person really asked any personal questions, which to me is insane. Crazy. Nobody has a question about your love life or finances or something with your family. Yes, we love Kim. You all brighten the room.
yeah.
You all do. And we all feel it.
No, I suppose they can send me in the. Yeah, we are all soaking up the knowledge.
Yeah, they're all sitting in church.
No, I also think that in this environment, Dawn, the energy that we are dwelling in now, that we are inhabiting now, it's a nice energy that you don't think of your problems. They don't come to the surface. So probably that's why people are not asking questions about problems, about my love life or anything like that.
It's so weird. Like, this is really unusual.
Yeah.
To be in the room with a psychic and not ask, like, kind of any, like, actually.
Yeah, because this is a different
magical.
environment. Yeah, we have created a different environment. So if they want to ask questions, maybe they will write to you later or write to me later.
Justin, we all had demons in our pasts. We all do. Everybody does. Everybody does. No, I knew the AMC questions are just going to keep coming, and I don't know that. Do you want to give that answer? So AMC, I told you, that's that movie Stock.
Yeah.
That I kind of started making videos about. And everyone feels like the government, which we already know, kind of manipulates the stock market and all that crap. And they're waiting for a short squeeze. Like Michael Burry, like The Big Short. They're waiting for the market to have another one of the, like, I feel like we're on the verge of it.
Okay.
So that's what he's asking you. When will we squeeze? That they're holding these investments. Like, when is the market going to have that boom? That, I don't know if, well, you can just read the energy of it, but it's you answer. My answer will be different, maybe.
So what's this guy's name, actual name?
I think it's Eddie, right? I know Moas, but that's why I'm explaining it to him, because he won't know what the hell Moas means. Because it's not just going to be AMC when it happens. That's what I'm trying to.
Now he's asking about his personal thing, right?
No, it's not a personal thing. It's that whole movement of all the underdogs coming together that are holding this stock, that are trying to make a change in the market, because we want a fair market, and their rules and regulations and everything they got with their algorithms are all bullshit, and it's all manipulated. We're waiting for something to collapse, for something to happen that is going to make these people that have been holding on for almost 2 years, boom.
So you want to get some idea when it's going to happen, right? When it will happen, right?
I want to see if you have the same answer as me. Hold on, don't say anything yet. I just want to see. If it's wrong, if it's not on point, I won't say it, but I just want to test something. Don't say anything yet. You don't have to give an exact month, obviously. I mean, if you can, you can, but I'm just going to put, like, even if you can get a.
No, I'm trying to see that kind of energy building up. That's what I'm trying to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't understand what this thing that you're doing. So when you were explaining this, I was trying to
I got it.
Put the energy together and to see a sequence of events coming up, and where all these energies get together, and it has to kind of move something.
And it's what brought us all together. Like, all of us, because we met on Twitter at first, and then we were in 1348, like another business, and then coming to here, and then now being on YouTube. Like, it keeps taking different forms, but it's all started from that.
Middle of February is a good period for y'all. The collective energy here, before the middle of.
Just wait. Look, I have no pen. For everybody who doesn't believe in certain things, I have no pen. What does that say? It's probably going to be backwards if you can read it.
Oh.
First quarter 2023. I'm not Miss Cleo, but that's the energy that I feel. And you just said something in February.
Yeah, you can say that. It will middle of February. Because middle of February I see a movement.
Something shifts.
Upward movement. Yeah. Because I don't see guys. I don't see things in form. I see things in energy. Okay.
Energy.
So then I have to relate this to language and relate it to form. So sometimes that is a little difficult, and like people can misunderstand what I say, and then the lingo I use,
But it's just funny. I wanted to write that to just prove something, because, people will be like, oh yeah, this person's just saying this, and we don't give dates. It's kind of like a funny rule thing. And I don't know exactly when, but I know that there's going to be some sort of energy shift. Something changes in the first quarter of 2023. Something snowball. Something's coming. I've been saying it. It's coming.
But anyway, Dawn, you're going to make things very big. You're going to influence a lot of people. You're going to I mean, you yourself, you're going to be very big, and it's with a group, with people, with you helping people, and that's very obvious. So you'll be also part of this movement.
Yeah, I came back. I came back to it. I think I told you a little bit about that. The stock thing, like I stopped talking about it for a long time, and
Yeah.
I just felt like I don't want to say I'm needed, but I just felt like I wanted my energy to be there.
And I think I have been telling you for a long, long time uh, that you have to do something on your own. You can't
Yeah.
you can't be riding someone else's boat.
I know.
You know, that's the way you attract many things. You know,
Yeah.
that's the way you fulfill your story. That's how you complete your story. You know, and
For me, it's about I just want to see everybody win. And I embody it. Like when I've talked to you about this before. I feel it. I go in that Santa room in the Discord, and I fully believe. Like I fully believe. I know what's gonna happen because I just do. Like I'm already in that it's happened. Oh, I just did the side look. I wasn't paying attention.
look at that. Look at your admirers. Derek.
Derek always notices.
Yeah,
He always.
sure, Kim. We'll make this more often. Where's Levi?
I don't know where Levi went. Justin had a question. How do I get a curse that may have been put on me by a real witch, even if it was years ago? That's not like some joking around. I had black magic put on me. Like I know people have watched my videos. People think it's like crap. It's not.
How do I get a curse that may have been put on me by a real witch, even
He can
if it
tell you
was
if you
years
have
ago?
one. Do you
No,
need a
no, no.
photo?
This is an abstract question he's asking, so I can't answer it because it's not a live question. It's quite an abstract question. You know, if this kind of work was done on you, then I'm not reading this, Don. I don't want
Yeah.
to do a reading here. If this kind of work was done, there are ways of removing it also. You know, to counter it, so that person can. Get into that. I'm not going to look into whether it is there or not. I don't think we should discuss such things on this forum. You know, but there are ways and means of getting. But I don't see anything very strong. If this is a real question you're asking, what's his name?
Justin.
Justin. Yeah. Because then the mind also gets fixed. With this person, the mind is still fixed in that, saying, "Okay, I've been influenced. I've been influenced." So it's not the cause anymore. It's the reaction to the cause that's keeping this person. So tell your friend to get this out of the head. Then it will be gone.
And they could contact him too. Like I said, I'll be giving out that information and I'll post it on Twitter and everything too.
Levi's there. Hi. I'm listening.
We love you, Levi's. Well, we have been on a long time. We've been on almost 3 freaking hours. It doesn't even feel
What?
like that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God! Yes, 2:43.
This is what we do. I mean, this is what I used to do. I loved it. I love going to church. We need to have weekly church for sure.
Yeah.
Oh God, Powell. Do you even know anything about Powell? This freaking guy, the Fed. God, probably not. He lives in Sri Lanka. He knows about Biden. Yeah, it's 3 hours. That's crazy. It just goes by so. It goes by so fast.
Thanks, Kim, for your lovely energy.
Yes, you see, even he feels it. Yes, there is a great awakening happening. Oh, we need to talk about that next time because we talk about that all the time and you understand it on even more of a different level than me of the age of awakening and all that. We got to get into that. I already got the MOS with you guys. That's why. He will.
Sure. I'll be very happy. I'll be very happy, Kim. But remember one thing, Dawn. Now, all these mainstream so-called spiritual teachers, these positive thinkers, all these new thought people, now they are using a new trend to tell people that there's going to be mass awakening, right? That humanity is going to change. That will never happen. That's a lie. That's just to catch the market. It's an individual thing. It is an individual thing. Awakening is an individual thing. It is not it's not en masse, right?
But it can be if it travels from person to person on a big scale.
That is not your concern. Your concern should be yourself. You can't awaken someone else. You can only awaken yourself. You can only free yourself. You can affect another person.
Yeah.
But you can't.
I guess that's what I mean.
Right? You can only free yourself. You can't free other people. That's a fallacy. That's another lie. That's another illusion. You can touch another person. You can help another person. But he has to heal himself. She has to heal herself. She has to free herself. So this awakening is a personal thing. It is personal to me. You know, if the rest of the world awakens, it doesn't going to awaken me. It's a personal thing. I have to awaken myself. I can listen to a awakened man or a woman for 100 years. It doesn't mean I'm going to get awakened. You know?
Yeah, people opening themselves up and it sparks something and you see the truth and then like you choose it. I kind of look at it as like lighting a flame, like taking a candle and like lighting a flame up. But that candle was already there.
Yeah, but imagine in the other candle, if that the thing that burns the wick or whatever you call it, if there was water on that wick, that candle is not going to burn.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
So that candle has to be ready. That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
You can put 100 candles around it and put the flame. But if this wick is not ready, it will not burn. It will not catch fire. So it's like that. But this is what I'm going to show you is the danger of thinking that the whole of humanity is going to awaken and everything is going to be fine and that we can have a free ride. No. This is what the businessmen are doing, you know, these spiritual businessmen.
Yeah, they're commercializing it, just like they do like weight loss and weight loss medication.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be open.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The people have to, the individual has to awaken. You have to be, don't think awakening is an external thing. Now, that's what people think. People think awakening is coming from the sky, like Jesus is coming from on a white horse, right?
A unicorn? A unicorn, please.
Yeah, on a unicorn, yes, right? And, you know, with wings or whatever, I don't know. And that is not the case. Awakening is an inner thing. It's a personal thing. Now, Derek, I know what Derek is meaning, but now see the way he has phrased it. He says you have to open yourself as if something from outside is coming to save you. No, you have to save yourself. It has to come from the inside. You know, it's an inner movement, and then you get in touch with that inner movement.
Yeah.
But in expression, you put it that way, which is correct. In expression, you say you have to be open to it for it to come in. You know, in expression it is okay, but then you can't get caught in the expression and miss the truth.
But it's like everybody that's sitting here right now by choice, sitting here listening to you, is obviously open, or they wouldn't be sitting here. They're going to level up, so to say, just by listening to you, because I didn't realize that's what was happening to me, because I was just enjoying our conversations. But it was enlightening me. It was spiritually making me grow without me even knowing it was happening to me. So
Correct. But then again, you can't ride the wave forever. You also have to get it in when the opening happens, right? When the opening happens, then you take it in, you match that vibration, but then you got to move on your journey. You can't be waiting forever. Like for example, okay, let's say Jesus had disciples. It didn't mean that all those disciples became enlightened. You know,
yeah.
like, okay, Jesus had his mission only for 3 years, but take Buddha. Buddha was preaching for almost 55 years, right? And he had disciples with him, but none of them became the Buddha. They listened to him, they ate with him, they slept with him, they did everything together, right? They listened to his discourses, they listened to his lectures, they learned from him, but none of them became the Buddha just because they were with him, you know. So it needs that the opening, the touching, the passing of that current is there, but then the rest of the work you have to do it with yourself, you know. But of course you can go back, ask questions, learn and improve yourself. You have to increase your own vibration.
Yes.
Yeah.
Derek is open, but Derek is always distracted. I'm always yelling at Derek. My Derek is me to you. Like, I was a pain in your ass, and you were always trying to teach me, and that's me with Derek. I'm like, you know, Genie wouldn't have dealt with this, Derek. Like, it's almost type of stuff. Get off the video games, Derek. Like, you need to be doing this. I'm like, well, then I'll just be like, I'm done. Like, poor Derek. But I always tell him, I promise you, it's still easier than Genie's boot camp.
Thank you, MC.
See? Yes, it is.
Yeah,
it's
thanks to Dawn. Thanks to Dawn. Dawn made this possible.
It's church, man. I'm telling you, this is what you don't have to go to a building. And I don't care if people that are religious take this the wrong way, but it's the truth. You don't have to sit in a physical building to be in church. Church is what it is to you. This is sitting here for me. This is church. I become enlightened. I feel like I spiritually grow. My heart's open. I become a better person by sitting here. Kim had a question, and then I will let you go. Where are our energies?
Yeah, the best place to the best thing is that you don't spend your energy. You conserve your energy, because you spend your energy when we get attached to forms and we run behind form and we go behind that illusion and forget who we are in the inside. You know, when we are in touch with our inner self, when we are rooted in our being, we never drain out. You know, now I understood Kim's expression of saying where are our energies best spent. I know what she meant. That's the way to express it. We are spending our energy, you know. So actually we don't need to spend the energy. We just dwell in our energy. And then what happens is the energies, vibrations will increase gradually. You know, on a scale, we have low energies and we have high energies. That means frequencies. So when we dwell in our energy, that means we are recognizing our energy, and on its own, the frequencies will rise, become higher and higher. So that's the practice that we have to do. We don't have to make any effort. It is only where we put our attention into. In that sense, Kim, we can say, where am I putting my energy? That means, where am I putting my attention? Because there's a saying, where attention goes, energy flows. So if you put your attention in good things, energy will flow there. And it is no one else's energy. It is not borrowed energy. It is your energy. Right?
I love that.
Yeah. So where attention goes, energy flows. So keep your attention within yourself. Now, Kim has a very special ability of dwelling in her the energy that belies in her cells. So it's a self-healing process. So you are recognizing that energy. So like a child, when you recognize your energy, what happens? The energy becomes happy, so to speak, and the energy will increase its vibrations higher and higher. So you'll be healing yourself. You'll be more successful. You'll be falling in alignment with the universal energy. Then what happens is your surroundings, your environment, your people, your situations, your circumstances will conform to your energy, not the other way around, because now your frequencies are going higher and higher, right? The less dense energies will also like to come to that level and help you and conform to you, because they will also feel good, right? So that is the secret of living, enjoying life. Enjoy. Enjoy means enjoy. Enjoyment is not something that we take from the outside, although we think that is.
I love these things.
Enjoyment is something that we put into things that we do. I enjoy doing this. You don't say I enjoy doing. I take enjoyment from doing this. That is a wrong expression. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy in this work. That means you put enjoyment into that. But we think that we can take enjoyment from the outside. Happiness you can take from outside. Okay? By doing external things, we can take happiness from outside. But enjoyment is something that you put into your work, put into what you do. Otherwise, you have stress. When you do things without enjoyment, that's when you create stress, because you are forcing yourself to do something.
Yeah.
Or you're doing something for the sake of doing it. Yeah. Enjoy. Yeah.
And for everybody that's in the Discord, I'm gonna put like in a certain section, I'll put his information and his contact information. He's in Sri Lanka, so I contact him on WhatsApp, and it's not one of those how's your trading going? Because we get a lot of scammers on like WhatsApp, like people will pretend to be me and be like, how's your trading going, and scam people. But it's because so that you don't have to pay to be able to talk on the phone. It's free using WhatsApp when somebody's in another country. So that's why we use that. So I'll put his information there if you ever want to reach out to him and find out how much it is for a reading or any type of service that you might be looking for, whether it's just one of these type conversations, one-on-one. Where are you at energetically? What do you need? What should you be working on right now? Like, he really, like I said, especially when you're a spiritual person, just guidance, spiritual advisor, like mentor, like I'm telling you, he has saved me so many times and also forced me to save myself. Like, it's always done myself, but he has to show me that a lot.
Yeah, so Don, what we can, if I may interrupt you and add, we can do this. It just occurred to me. Now, this is more of a spiritual discourse that we are having. We are talking about how life has come to be, how life is going ahead, how life is taking different forms, and how we meet success in this world of form, how we achieve our goals, our dreams and aspirations, how we live a healthy life, how we embody, how we put enjoyment into things, how we take happiness in. So it's a kind of thing like this. This is very interesting. This makes life whole, gives us a better understanding of life. So I think we should continue that kind of conversation here. So if you allow people, your audience, to ask questions, and you can send me the questions separately for us to continue this kind of a conversation within a few hours on a regular basis, that we can do. There's no problem. But then on the other hand, as a psychic, if they need any psychic guidance on whatever they want, whatever aspect, so that is a personal thing for them, you know. So but then I will take it as a separate thing, because for that I had to use my psychic skill, so to speak, you know. So Kim, now when I do my psychic work, I had to spend energy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is an outward movement, you know. So that is, I'm using energy to tap into people. Yeah. So, but
That's a big
I mean, this kind of work, I also enjoy this kind of work because it's good to, so I
God.
say, good to spread the word. You know, the word of going to spend. You know, so but here
We're
this
all
is
gonna
like,
come into stock market tomorrow on Powell Day, and it's like this big day when Powell's coming
yeah,
in,
yeah. You always
like a
have good
damn
days. You
army.
always have
I'm
good.
like hype, ready to go right now. I'm like the gif that I do all the time. The little kids screaming, "Let's go!" like on the basketball court. That's me right now. Like you gotta feel that shit.
So one thing I can do, Don, is I
Yeah.
can like, as a psychic, on a general level, maybe I can use my psychic powers to enhance your group so that you all will be a very successful group in the stock market. Like people who come to you, like nail
Open.
it, you know.
I'm open to the genie. Okay,
Yeah,
Aladdin here.
that will be good. So that's
I love you.
like a cure for all, you know, like a blanket covering, you know.
Yes. Thank you for sharing him with us. Oh, I love it. It's so funny because, when it came to like my spirituality and stuff and my own like gifts and everything, I almost was made to feel like ashamed of it. So it was something like I kept to myself and then I was like, why am I keeping it to myself? Like I'm proud of everything. I'm just going to come out. You want to meet Genie? Here's Genie, this person I talk about all the time. Like, and look at what it turns into. It's amazing. Like
Yeah.
it's amazing. It opens up a whole new world. Oh, I'm literally hearing the Aladdin song. I'm not. You can't make this up. You can't make it up. With the genie. Whenever you see me do that genie gif from like Aladdin, like I'm always referring to him. Me and Derek do it quite often. I let you out of your lamp today, okay? I let you out. Behave. I came to make money trading, but was blessed with something so much more valuable that nobody in life teaches you. Oh, I know. This is too much for me. But I'm so glad too, not just that I got to introduce you to them, like that they feel your presence, but that now you know what I'm talking about when I'm talking to you about them. You could feel the energy.
Now I can really feel it. Yes, it's amazing. It's wonderful. This is not like a stock market group. This is like a spiritual group,
No.
you know. It's a community,
Like spiritual stock
like a
market people.
spiritual community. Yeah, you all are trading in spiritual stock.
Yeah, it's like a whole new thing. I don't even know what I would call it, but it's so true.
You all are dealing not in dollars. You all are dealing in hertz, because hertz is how you measure vibration. You know, hertz, right?
Yeah.
Hertz is what you measure vibrations with. So we are talking about hertz, not dollars.
Yeah. Now we all need to raise our vibrations together and where we could be like, all right, we want the SPY to go up. All right. We'll just keep our vibes high and say what we want, like in the center room. Okay. 528. I always tell Derek to listen to that. I'm like, oh, listen to some 528 HZ. I say HZ, but it hurts. Levi, I know Levi's sitting there taking notes. He's taking notes.
Yeah, he's taking notes.
He's always taking notes. We do the Karate Kid all the time. Like they call me Sensei, joking around, and it's so funny to me. And you're like Master Sensei. What are you seeing right now? Watch.
I had a you know that I had a chat with Levi. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He was so sweet. Like he wants to know everything. Like his eyes are like that, you know.
I know it. I'm with him every day. I know that's how he pays attention to every detail of every little thing, and I love it. The curiosity. That's what Genie always taught me. Is like, Dawn, you soak everything up. Like you're so curious, and being curious, like you are when you're a kid, to try to find out all these new things. Like when I'm sitting here in church, and I always I want all these questions answered. That's the key to life. That's the key to self-growth on your journey. Just stay curious all the time. No logical thinking.
Love you too, Levi. Love you.
I love that he calls you Genie. I never call you by your real name.
Yeah.
Look, you see.
And he was so sweet. now he starts the our conversation. Okay, now how much do I pay you? I said, no, no, we'll first talk.
I love him.
And I
I
think the
said, Levi,
conversation
you
went
have
for
to
about
meet.
an hour.
I said, Levi, you have to meet the guru. Like, you're ready to move on to the next level in life. Derek, too. Derek calls him Genie, too.
Yes, he does. He does.
Because you just make wishes come true. It just is what you do. It's beyond. You're not a psychic. It's just beyond that. That's the only word that I can use. I'm going to let you go, Genie. You've been on for over 3 hours, and we appreciate you. I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I think we'll call it a day or whatever you call it. It's
Yeah, it's
what
a
time
night
is it
here,
there now? It's about 10:30 in the night.
10:30.
Oh my God.
I never really sleep anyway, we know, so it's okay. We all got to be up early in the morning because we got to be in there by a certain time for the stock market. It's so I can already feel like the energy of like tomorrow's going to be different. I can feel it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's good that y'all are having a person like Kim, because I'll call her the frequency holder. She holds the
Yeah.
frequency. No matter what happens, even if everything collapses around you, she'll hold on to these good vibes,
I know.
the
She
frequency
does.
holder. Yeah, she holds the frequency, so that nobody can get demoralized.
True. So true. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for coming and actually staying this whole time. I can't believe you people sat here for 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, it was
crazy.
wonderful. Yeah. Take
I
care,
love
guys. Wish
you.
you
I
all the
love you
best.
so much.
Love you all.
Bye, guys. I'll see you in the morning or probably in a little while talking to you in the chat.